Full disclaimer, me and Alt are part of a large and robust online community that follows the antics of one Darkside Phil Burnell. Gonna try and avoid as many references to DSP as possible. And
Yes.
if you're not familiar with DSP, then you should be able to watch this without any hang-ups.
Yeah.
Even if you're not even familiar with Spoony, if you're just vaguely familiar, we're gonna go through from beginning to end. But if we do get sidetracked talking about DSP stuff, we apologize. We're a little bit deranged.
Yeah. And I don't think actually there's that many comparables between these two people. There's not, I know people like to compare lolcows and say this is like that, and LTGs like the Black DSP and all that stuff, but I don't consider this to be that case at all. I think they're very different actually in their personalities, in their content, in everything. They're very much different. So it's not going to be
similarities, some differences. Both are products of early YouTube, but both probably wouldn't be able to reach the level that they were ever at if they had started out today.
Yes, that's fair. That's fair.
A lot of them benefited from the fact that there wasn't a whole lot of competition at the time. Spoony's definitely more talented than DSP. He definitely worked harder than DSP does back in the day.
Yes.
But both definitely squandered a whole lot of the potential that they had at the time.
Yes, and let's get into that now. I mean, we start right at the beginning, I guess. Ludwig, how do you want to start? You're the captain of this ship, let's say.
Let's start at the beginning, way back when. Born in December 27th, 1980, 5'10", so a little bit of a manlet. Born in St. Louis, Missouri. As of now, he is 42 years old. And we don't know a whole lot about his early childhood up until maybe like 1998 in junior high school. Just so everyone knows, he apparently was not very much bullied in high school, maybe a little bit in junior high, but by high school, not that much. That's important to keep in mind going forward, that he wasn't really all that bullied. He had a pretty kind of a privileged upbringing, not too much not too much trauma relatively, so to speak.
And we all got this from Retail Archaeology, right? That's how we got this information. He's the one that kind of shared about this kid stuff. I mean, the younger stuff from him, right?
Yeah. He had a post familiar with him back in the day. They just played Magic the Gathering. In 1999, Spoony graduates high school. There's a nice high school photo, or early young Spoon man. He was a part of the drama club, forensics, and band. So he was a drama kid, a band kid. So I think we all know band kids, drama kids can be a little bit dramatic.
Yes, for sure.
Slightly neurotic.
Something in common with the guy with the glasses, all those people, right? It seems like they all have like band and acting in high school histories, I think, from my memory. But yeah, they all, a lot of people that want to do videos on YouTube, especially in these older days, were drama people. Yeah, that's fair to say, I think.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Around 2004, Noah was writing for a magazine called Knights of the Dinner Table. It was a local magazine where he would do movie reviews and written movie reviews, and he would later turn a lot of those reviews into videos, like for Your Hunter from the Future, Mazes and Monsters. His I guess moniker at the time, the nom de plume, was Tandem, the name of his D&D bard character. The Spoony Bard originates from Final Fantasy II. It's a badly translated line, "You Spoony Bard," referring to what the bard in that game. So that's where the name Spoony comes from, is Final Fantasy II, a bad translation.
Yeah, a little bit of a backstory on that. So in the real story, I could use my Japanese skill to share what he really says. He says kisama. So kisama is like kisama. Japanese has ways to say you, basically, and they're different, formality levels to those. There's like, you're talking with your friend, you say this. When you're talking to your mom, you say this. When you're talking to someone that you're supposed to be higher than you on the social chain, you use this. So he uses the word that is like the lowest of the fucking low, right? He says kisama. So he says you bard, but he starts with kisama. So the translators who have to deal with so many issues that the space is a big problem. So they're dealing with space and also, not copyright, but like fucking like Nintendo's, heavy-handed it's got to be for kids, so take it easy stuff. So they just use Spoony as a kind of a negative term for that that word that they use to describe a very low person, to say you. So he used like the lowest form of you. They translated that into Spoony Bard, which is kind of stupid now, but yeah, that's where the name came from.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I just thought it meant sort of like kind of like lecherous, or maybe like uncouth.
I didn't see. I don't. For me, for my I brought up today just to check it. It says like Kisama Bard, like Japanese word for bard, like you bard. But again, using the word that is like used to describe a lower, an asshole. You might want to an asshole. You might say this. So that's where I think they got it from. But anyways, you could. There's many different takes on that. Yeah.
So he was kind of disillusioned at this point. The magazine wasn't really paying a whole lot. He didn't feel like he could really advance from that point.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see. By 2007, he decides to make a video of a video game review based off a guy named rmake21, and at the time the Angry Nintendo Nerd. Before he was the Angry Video Game Nerd, he was the Angry Nintendo Nerd.
Yes.
And he says in the video that he draws inspiration from them and doesn't want to step on their toes.
Yeah, he says a lot of people. I remember that fucking exact video. Doesn't he say something like, "I know a lot of people are making these reviews and stuff, but I don't want to step on anybody's toes. I just love and respect," or something like that in different words. But like he definitely makes sure to say, "I don't want to be like these kind of angry video review style people," which were all the rage at this point, right? I mean, when this started, this was the beginning of the peak of angry video reviews, right?
Yeah, I think it was just like the ground floor of it.
Yeah. Like if you were, I mean, you could check on YouTube now. There's so many compilations of like angry reviews. Like everyone was fucking doing it. Like this was the shit to do, man. And
oh yeah, they're being parodied at this point.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there was him. One of the people that guy with the glasses used to make fun of a lot was Irate Gamer. Like he was a nice punching bag that they like to swing at.
Yeah, and Irate
Someone they
Gamer.
Made fun of a lot.
If anyone doesn't know Irate Gamer was someone that angry video game nerd. Obviously, I figure everyone knows. But there was one guy that was called the Irate Gamer that did the same shtick. I mean, it's safe to fucking say it was the same exact shtick. And he wasn't as good. And he now claims it was just because YouTube kept propping him up, and he was getting like one of the fucking like highest recommended people on fucking the whole site would be Irate Gamer. And he's like, how am I supposed to stop this? So, and he kept doing it. So there we go.
Yeah, he had some pretty funny reviews. He reviewed like breakfast cereal. And one of the lines they would use is like, breakfast is ruined. Like they would get rid of like Blueberry Crunch or something like that.
Yeah, I never liked that. You though said, not to derail too bad, but you were a fan of that guy with the glasses himself, right? You liked his videos too?
Oh yeah, Nostalgia Critic, even Linkara, a lot of them, not all of them, certainly. I didn't have enough time to watch all of them.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So because I was, for me, like this is when Spoony was my way into other people on the site, and I got in right in 2007 because somebody on a forum said a Bayou Billy review is awesome, and I was like, all right, well I'll check it out, and I was like, this guy was good, so I got there right in that fucking first video is when I first saw him, and I first enjoyed watching his stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. The early reviews were Bayou Billy, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, Heroes of the Lance, Samurai Zombie Nation, which is a pretty funny game. You play as the head of a samurai clan, literally the head of a samurai clan, as you can see there. You're literally a floating head. You're shooting like magic balls at naked Sean Connery here. And Robin Hood, and Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. So like early, really janky sort of NES games were where he really got his footing. And it wasn't until a little bit later of that year that he got into Final Fantasy VIII, which was his really big breakout video, and which is, I think, the first video that I've seen of him, because me personally, Final Fantasy VIII is my favorite Final Fantasy game. I know a lot of people will give me crap about that, but that's fine. I know FF8 has its issues, but I do enjoy FF8 for a lot of reasons, and I recently replayed it again when it was out on Game Pass. It still holds up. Really, really cool.
And before we get into how he analyzed it, I want to say, like, this is when Final Fantasy was, at the time, in my memory, please tell me if I'm wrong, was like Final Fantasy was a game you don't make fun of. Like it's just like Final Fantasy is awesome. We fucking love it. No one's making fun of it, right? Like it was one of those games where like it's not like these shitty games you reviewed before where everyone makes fun of them and it's funny. Haha, these games suck. Final Fantasy VIII was a big departure from what normal fucking people were doing, right? And these like, these angry video game people were doing, right?
Yeah, and if you were going to talk about Final Fantasy, you were going to be talking about Final Fantasy VII. Not one of the reasons I watched this is because not a whole lot of people were even talking about Final Fantasy VIII. The focus was always on 7 because that was basically like a PS1 launch game. I didn't get the PS1 until a little bit later. I kind of stuck around with the N64 a little bit longer than I should have, and then I finally swapped over to PS1 mainly because of Metal Gear Solid. And also the RPG that I got on that system was FF8. But the first part of his FF8 review has nearly 1 million views, 933,000 views. So that was a pretty big one.
Yes, insane numbers.
Yeah, kind of a breakout video.
Yes.
For 2007, that's a year before DSP even launched the Dark Side Phil channel, let alone the DSP Gaming.
Yeah, and look at the quality of this video. Like I know we're gonna see it here.
Sense. I hate this
like,
fucking
it's
game.
like this is high quality, man. Back in the day, this was fucking quality.
Yeah, having rudimentary special effects, direct capture footage, not a camera pointed at a TV.
Final Fantasy VIII. Anyone who said this is their favorite Final Fantasy game, this is pretty much my review. This
FF8 is kind of the black sheep of the franchise. Like I said, not a whole lot of people were talking about it.
Watch this video.
But Spoony went all in, really playing up the angry gamer trope.
Had to do this for every spell, and
really very negative. He would say that a lot of actual inaccuracies. In hindsight, the review isn't very good because it doesn't really. Do we have it unmuted or what?
It should be there. You can hear it. It should be able to hear it now. Video very loud. There we go.
Makes no sense. The weapons are ridiculous, and the setting is strangely underpopulated and technologically wildly.
Maybe you can't hear it. That's bad.
Maybe rewind it a little bit. So you can get some of this.
Yeah. Here we go.
This commentary here. His main complaint was the draw system, which we'll get into.
There we go.
This is so bad. I mean, anyone who likes Final Fantasy VIII, anyone who said this is their favorite Final Fantasy game, this is pretty much my review. This is all I have to say to you fanboys of Final Fantasy VIII. Watch this video and fuck you!
Okay.
Okay.
Just watch.
Look at his name too. Emo Git.
Emo Git.
Which
would become a nickname for Spoony later on for various reasons.
Absolutely.
I so don't care enough to learn them.
Yeah, he says FF8 sucks and you suck for liking it.
Makes no sense. The weapons are ridiculous, and
the weapons are ridiculous. The weapons aren't really all that ridiculous. Zell's weapon is his fist, the same weapon that Tifa uses.
Yeah.
Selphie uses nunchucks. Quistis uses a whip. Like Irvine uses a gun. That ridiculous weapon, a gun. So does Laguna. I guess if you want to say the gunblade is ridiculous, but that's just one weapon out of the entire game.
Yeah, that's just one of the stupid takes, wow, the gunblade's stupid. I mean, look at Cloud's fucking sword. We all got over it, It's like one of those things. You understand it's just a cool fucking thing and just move on,
Yeah, it's cool. That's the thing. It's like, it's a gun attached to a sword, and it'll probably break your wrist if you try to swing it that way with a pistol grip. But it's awesome. Like people buy them. Like including Spoony has like a prop gunblade.
Yeah, definitely.
So it definitely had its appeal.
That became his fucking thing, man. I mean, I know he didn't know it was going to blow up like it did, but that became his fucking thing, was the fucking gunblade thing. And I want to know about from you, because I never played Final Fantasy VIII. I did play Final Fantasy VII for whatever reason, timing or whatever. I never played Final Fantasy VIII. I believe Spoony with this draw system bullshit, which, just for people who don't know, you have to draw spells from the enemies, right? Now, that's bullshit, right?
There are a lot of ways that you can get spells, actually. He makes it sound like the only way to get spells is to draw it from enemies, but actually there's a bunch of different ways. You can turn triple triad cards into spells. You can unlock abilities for your summons that will turn lower level spells into higher level spells. You can refine spells from gemstones that you pick up from enemies. You can draw spells from various draw points around the map. So him making it sound like the only way to get magic is from drawing enemies is just wildly inaccurate. which I'll get to.
Yeah, okay,
the setting is strangely underpopulated and technologically wildly.
He says the technology is wildly anachronistic. There's an area in the game called S-Star, which is leaps and bounds technologically above the rest of the planet, but that's because it's an isolated area. I don't understand how you could call that anachronistic. It doesn't take place in our reality. So like anachronistic is like if you're filming a Western and you see someone wearing like a pair of Nikes, that's anachronistic.
Yes.
It doesn't really apply here. It's long, you guys. I don't know if you played a Final Fantasy game before, but warning, it's long.
Yes.
As far as criticisms go, I don't think you can use long as a valid one against a Final Fantasy game. Like, it's an RPG, okay?
Boring. It's
boring, okay, it's stupid.
And I hate it with the fiery intensity of a million Foreman grills.
But before
that's a good Spoony joke example right there. Like, that's a Spoony joke right there. He would, in my mind, back in the day, I mean, now it looks kind of cringe, but like, he would have a good punchline to those jokes like that. It's so hot, it's like this, and it would usually hit back in the day. I know it doesn't hit that hard now. But back in the day, he was pretty funny, I thought. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's a good way to express your anger towards it, I guess.
Yeah.
Drawing thousands of emails explaining just how wrong I was. Back when I first started, I mentioned how the game requires you to spend hours in combat pulling magic out of the monsters so that you can beef up your character attributes. And when I first played this game as a kid, I had to do it for every single spell in the game.
I didn't see that text on the screen.
Oh, God!
Alternative ways to get magic. And in fact, they mailed me several step-by-step procedures to maximize my efficiency.
So already he's complaining about how he was wrong in his first video, saying that the only way to get spells is to draw it from enemies. So a lot of people are emailing him and sending him comments and arguing with him and telling him that no, actually there are a lot of different ways to get magic. And he's basically doing like friend request ridicule. He's taking this input that he's getting and just mocking it and ridiculing it and turning that into additional content.
Like saying they're stupid for writing the emails. That's my favorite. It's like, look at all these emails I got. Because there's so many, you guys must be idiots. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, being corrected is bad, I guess.
Yeah,
which could have only come through years of study and the worldwide collaboration
of... This is wild. Let's rewind a little bit because this is quite a sentence.
Okay.
And everyone and their mother emailed me with alternative ways to get magic, and in fact, they mailed me several step-by-step procedures to maximize my efficiency at this task, which could have only come through years of study and the worldwide collaboration of Final Fantasy VIII players in grand academic symposia.
Let's hear that again. It could only have come from years of study and the worldwide collaboration of Final Fantasy VIII players in grand academic symposia. Or from, just reading the text that's in the game that it presents to you.
Yeah,
I don't know why. Yeah, it's pretty melodramatic how he makes it sound like you have to collaborate and like go to the tomes, the library of Final Fantasy VIII in order to know that you can draw spells from draw points that are located around the map.
Yes.
Doesn't make a lot of sense.
Well,
you're entirely correct. So even in that, he concedes that what they're telling him is factual.
Don't need to spend hours drawing every magic spell in the game to win. It's entirely possible, and in fact, preferable to refine items, cards, and magic spells.
So they were right. They were right
to fill in your magic list.
Holy shit,
in fact,
Spoon.
when I played through this game a second time, I did this quite a lot when I.
In his second run, he does exactly that. So I guess he collaborated with the worldwide Grand Symposium of Final Fantasy VIII players in his off time.
Discovered you could refine 10 Kiragas out of a single 10.
Admitting everything he said was a lie.
It's still boring, and even though you found a slightly more convenient way to get magic outside of combat, aren't you really still substituting one kind of busy work for another?
No. Literally no.
And you can stop emailing me about it, okay? Moving on!
Amazing, yeah, go ahead.
Right. This is year one. This is 2007. It's kind of a foreshadowing about how he would handle not only his content but the feedback that he would receive from it.
Yes, and this is the very beginning, right? So this is not like he's on his high horse with raking in the dough yet. This is still him trying to put out his videos, responding to his fan base, and this is what he does already. I mean, that's telling. He's already pulling this shit off. You guys corrected me. Let's get that straight. Corrected me. And he's like, "Oh, stop emailing, guys. I'm tired of this. Stop emailing." Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I watched this at the time because, again, I was a big fan of Final Fantasy VIII, and I was just happy that somebody was talking about it.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was fine for me that he was wrong because he did eventually concede that yeah, there are other ways to get magic. But it did seem like I guess it was the style at the time to if you weren't angry, if you weren't yelling, then nobody would watch your video.
That's how it was. Yes, I think
Yeah,
that's
nobody
how
really
it
got
was.
views for saying, "Ah, the game's fine." You know, it's so and so. It is what it is. No, you had to make a big spectacle about it, like the game broke into your house and killed your parents, because
Yep.
otherwise people wouldn't watch.
And you need skits too. Don't forget the stupid skits.
And yeah, he hated the backlash so much he decided to go out of his way and complain about other Final Fantasy games just to piss off more people.
Fantasy VII. You see, Final Fantasy VII is actually a pretty good game, especially for its time.
Oh.
But I'm going to tear it a new asshole anyway. Why? Well, for one, I enjoy pissing creepy.
Oh, that's a good reason. This might be where DSP got his idea for Project 7. This is my Theo theory.
Ooh, okay.
Not only that, while wandering around Don Corneo's club, you become cornered by a pack of large, muscular, oiled gay wrestlers with porn mustaches who drag you into a hot tub for a massage. Oh, by looking at this, the only way I think you can interpret this scene is that Cloud is getting systematically gangbanged by every one of
See,
these
it's basically
men.
word for
They are
word.
literally pulling
Yeah,
your
I
chain on
wonder.
you. Oh, man! Were parents warned about this game? Anyway, you may not be surprised to learn that the already androgynous Cloud makes a pretty sexy chick. And if you're disturbed enough to have tracked down all the best items, you win. If you call this winning. Oh, this is sick. What kind of perverted game is this? I can't think of anything more confusing and emotionally scarring to a kid.
Yeah, that's basically. I think DSP's memories of Final Fantasy 7 and 8 are basically from the Spoony review.
That's
my
a good
theory.
theory. I like that theory. That could be something to that. We have to compare what Phil said. I got to hear that again, and then you could be right. That'd be pretty hype if that's you
Yeah,
found
like
it.
it scarred kids. It was emotionally traumatizing at the time. Like it's basically word for word in my opinion. But we can move on from Final Fantasy 8. Just
Yes.
letting you know the sort of attitude and personality he took towards game reviews. He would review other games at the time, like The Thing and FMV style games like Power Klingon, Terror Tracks, Microcosm, Sewer Shark, Power Rangers, and Marky Mark's Make My Video.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's another game that Phil played.
Yes, I do remember the Terror Tracks and Terror Tracks thing. It wasn't too hype for me. It's basically just like listening to like old like tapes, right? I believe they were just tapes of like scary
yeah.
shit, right? Yeah. So that was pretty. I mean, it wasn't interesting to me, but I mean, that's kind of right now. Like that kind of content might work because people want that kind of old shit. But back then, it was still. I mean, people liked it. He's getting a lot of views. But I mean, his video game reviews are still where the bread was buttered, though, right?
Yeah. And yeah, FMV is a good niche for game reviews just in general. A lot of the editing was done by his girlfriend at the time, Scarlett, and she helped moderate his website and also do a lot of the HTML work.
Yes.
He did a lot of vlogs and spoken word reviews.
Real quick, I should announce, we didn't announce it yet. There is a Spoony Vision available, uppercase Spoony Vision. If you want to get into Spoony Vision, my friends, made special for tonight. Go ahead, Ludwig. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I guess you could equate Scarlett to sort of Panda, just the first one, the one that got away.
Yes, definitely.
Another photo. Not going to be too cruel. You can make your own mind.
Yes.
Nightmare. He reviewed like a TV show called Nightmare. The British style host may know this show better. It's similar to sort of if you've seen Nick Arcade.
Yes.
Just a bunch of kids standing in front of a green screen, sort of acting out a video game in real life.
Dude, this was hype. This video was hype because I was like, I never thought a game like this could exist. Like, this was so much cooler than what we had over here. I was like, fuck, man, this show seems awesome. And I was going on YouTube trying to look at more of this show because I thought it was so fucking awesome. And I still say, ooh, nasty to this day.
Ooh,
right there.
Nasty.
He's saying it right now. Oh, chunky. He's saying chunky right there. But yeah.
Ooh, chunky. Yeah.
That was so hype, man. That was so hype.
Yeah, there'd be like trivia. They would ask like questions from the Bible sometimes, maybe sometimes questions from Lord of the Rings, but a lot of D&D style questions
Yes.
in playthroughs.
I
In
thought that was
2000
an awesome video. Go ahead, sorry.
Right. No problem. I'm talking too much. You can go ahead.
No, I thought when that show came out, like this was like getting for me. I remember this was him stepping away from video game stuff, and that really, in my memory, was when wow, you can do a lot of different stuff, and that's when he kind of moved into more doing video reviews, movie reviews, I should say, in my memory. But yeah, keep going now.
Oh yeah, someone brought up the review for the game adaptation of The Ring, and that reminds me, one of the items in that game was called Dalid Jelly, and I know he made a big deal out of that one. Dalid Jelly, it was like a badly translated jelly salad, but it was Dalid Jelly for some reason.
Nice.
We're now in 2009, I believe, with another one. I probably watched this like 3 or 4 times. I actually tried to watch this again on stream.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty lengthy though, but it is Phantasmagoria 2, A Puzzle of Flesh, which Phantasmagoria is still one of my favorite words.
Hey, this is the sign of the times, but this game came out. This was hype too. I remember this video being very funny. I haven't watched it in a while, so maybe it's not anymore. But I thought this playthrough was pretty hype.
It drags on a little bit near the end, but it definitely comes back around later. This actor, his character's name is Curtis Craig, eventually shows up later in real life to be sort of Spoony's savior and mentor, believe it or not.
Oh yeah.
But there's a lot of memes that come from this, including "I heard that, Curtis," which this is a compilation of those.
That Curtis.
Seize this, Warner.
I heard that, Curtis.
Cold-hearted son of a bitch.
Ring, ring, ring. I heard that, Curtis.
Oh, cool, wasn't it? That's too bad you didn't pistol whip him.
I heard that, Curtis. I know that joke's gonna get old, but it hasn't yet.
Destroy the carpet, detective? Yeah, rip him a new one, detective. I hope she locks him up with Hannibal Lecter.
I heard that, Curtis.
Yeah, I'm saying still funny.
Fair.
I agree.
Now to write the hair club for men.
That ought to be enough to fry your ass, Warner.
I heard that, Tom.
Don't move, Curtis.
I thought I heard you in here. Oh, you didn't hear that coming, did you, dickweed?
Yeah, if you haven't figured it out by now, Spoony was a really big fan of Mystery Science Theater 3000. He would do like MST 3K style commentary during the game, and then afterwards, if there was any silence during the game, he would include his own voiceover again over the game.
Yes.
So it felt like a lot of commentary over the game.
Yeah, and that, but
Yeah.
Go ahead. It just definitely shows how much more work he was putting into his shit than we were talking about DSP. It's a different world of work that went into Spoony's videos. Of course, he did way less, but Spoony put work in his fucking videos, and you could tell. Whether you think they're funny or not is a different story, but he put work on his fucking shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Basically, yeah. This is the lore of Phantasmagoria 2.
Yes.
A really good playthrough.
Yeah, this one I have to go back to watch. I haven't seen that in a while. I mean, it was funny back in the day, but so
Again,
real quick, just to
it drags on a little bit.
Okay, but just to get a sense of timing, where is Spoony putting his videos at this point? Just so on his own website, right? Is the only place they're going up, or are they going up on YouTube yet? Is this still a Spoony Experiment website only thing right now? At 2008,
I believe it's both, because back then a lot of videos were getting copyright claimed, and they were getting claimed a lot more harshly, to the point where if they got claimed 3 times, there went your channel. And even I think Angry Video Game Nerd was in jeopardy for a little while there. And so he had his own website where he would upload his own videos. Yeah. And even put out a video being like, hey, if my YouTube channel goes away, you know where to find me. It was like one of those videos.
And that's where Scarlett was doing the work on the website. Along with being his girlfriend, she was doing a lot of editing and the website shit, yeah.
Yep, and there was a community forum, which was very, very heavily moderated.
Yeah, this is another case of where he would be, any criticism of him was not seen as favorable. And this is when, not like lolcow status, but it was getting known in my memory that Spoony's kind of a dick. Like, I can remember when some people thought an idea. I wasn't like on the team he's a dick yet, but I was like, all right, well, he's kind of an asshole, but he's still a cool guy. I like his videos. Like clearly I can see that in my memory in my mind of thinking that, you know, like he's still funny. So it's fine in my mind, you know, it's stupid, but that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, it was easy to believe that the person that he played in his videos was a different person than who he was in real life. But the more you heard him behind the scenes and when he wasn't making a video, you're like, well, this guy is basically the same person all the time.
Yeah. Yep. That's a good way to say
it. He really is this like sardonic, sarcastic, quick-tempered, easily irritated person just all around. And the character that he played in his videos was just a slightly more irrational version of that.
Yes.
There is a huge gap in his edited videos between 2009 and 2012. So I think that was part of the copyright claim things where he would just delete the videos outright. And a lot of them just straight up weren't monetized.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, because this is 2009. I think this is before gameplay footage had really caught on as sort of like been a monetizable thing. Another game that he played was Dirty Harry: The War Against Drugs, a classic NES game.
That was a good one. I remember that.
Another one was SWAT 4, not an NES game, but a PC game. But they're now removed from his channel for whatever reason. The only way to see those videos are from archives, typically Russian redubs or resubs.
Oh, interesting. Those were like not the best, but I remember watching those thinking, okay, it's kind of funny. Excuse me, sir. That kind of meme went over, you know, excuse me, sir, or whatever.
In my spot.
Yeah, you're my spot, sir. There it is. Yeah. That was the meme there. But look at this right now on the screen. Phantasmagoria 2. This dude's acting out the fucking exact game. Like, this was cool. This was...
Yeah, he has the whole skit where he's playing as Curtis and he's picking up the phone and dialing numbers and there'd be jokes on the other end of the phone.
Yeah, like this was intense. And like a lot of people did skits back in the day and they were all fucking suck. Like that's why I hated that guy with the glasses. Like I don't give a shit about these skits, man. They're bad. And AVGN, I lost AVGN because of those fucking skits. I was like, I'm done with these skits. I just, you know, and like, but somehow Spoony kept me with these skits because they were good. They were like the highest quality in my mind back then. But anyways.
Yeah. And they didn't overdo it. Like that skit portion right there was at the very end of the playthrough. Like it was basically the closer, the finale. Another FMV game was Ripper. If you notice, there's Christopher Walken. This is back when people thought that FMV games were going to take over and basically replace like 2D, 3D graphics. So they were paying big money to bring in a lot of C and B list actors that do actual acting.
Yeah, there's a few. I think also Mickey from Rocky's in this as well, I believe, if that's the right game. Could be different.
Oh, yeah.
He's also in this game, yeah.
And I believe Gimli from Lord of the Rings. I forget the actor's name.
Oh, yeah. He's in this. I forget remember his name. R word is coming to mind. But yeah. So there's a few like B levels that would get in here, yeah.
Yeah, so if you go to his channel now, there is a huge gap in his content between 2009 and 2012. This is an actual screenshot, so you can see like 13 years ago, then the next video is 11 years ago. So a lot of his content is frankly missing, and it's only available. John Rhys Davies, that's who. Thank you, Chad.
There we go.
I love being corrected by Chad. Like
Wood Knox was first.
Yeah, this is another thing that Spoony never really seemed to get is that being corrected by your chat, being informed by them is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. You should enjoy the fact that your chat is more knowledgeable than you are, not fight against them. But we'll get into his streaming career.
Yes, we'll get there.
I think we're running up to SWAT 4, so there's some good jokes here.
Okay, sweet. Let's listen.
Yeah, we're playing. Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah. They're all in there sharpening their knives.
You're my way.
I'm not in your way. Fuck off.
You gotta move away from there.
Oh, do excuse me, sir. Am I in your spot? Because it would be so impossible to do your job standing 8 inches to the right.
Searching the doorway.
You're in my spot, sir.
Well, maybe that's because I'm looking in the fucking room.
You're in my way, sir.
Listen, you sawed-off little twerp. You want to do this? I bet these guys are getting a real good fucking...
You're in my spot.
You son of a bitch.
Own it.
You are so fucking lucky I have a defective shotgun today. You're standing in my spot, sir. Watch, it's gonna be the last fucking guy who says it.
You're standing in my position, sir.
Fucking knew it, you fucking twerp. I lost a guy.
Entry team to talk.
Entry team to talk. Fields is down. Ready and evac.
Who's in the way now, bitch?
You're in my spot.
Dude, I swear, one day, me and you are gonna fucking have words over this who's in whose spot shit. I keep expecting an alien to
You're
come
in my
pop.
spot, sir.
You son of a bitch! I swear to
You're in
God!
my way, sir.
You motherfucker! I will punch you in the fucking soul, you fucking asshat!
Great line.
Bet none of these suspects have Russian accents.
That's my mark you're at.
Oh, you ass! You're not Reynolds. Who the fuck are you? Ah, you fool! Hey, why? Oh, come on! I was aiming right at him. God damn it!
Standing in my position, sir.
What? Oh, eat my shit, Jackson, you stupid fucking fuck whistle. I told you guys to run in. There wasn't even a spot to stand in. Oh, freeze, asshole. I can see it clipping through the door. Oh, come on.
You're in my way.
You're in front of me. You brainless dipshit. Whoa! Like, cyborg cloned dinosaurs or super soldiers.
You're in my spot.
You son of a bitch! What the fuck are you talking
Get
about?
out of the way.
What the fuck? I didn't even start this level yet!
Boss, you're in my way.
What the fuck? This is the spawn point, you fucking ass miner! I had to shoot you in the eyes
Hey,
right
this is
now.
good, man. This
Yeah,
is
the
big
ended-
memories.
The ended videos were way better because he could edit. You know, he thought that streaming this would have the same sort of punch, but not even close.
Yes, this is for me. This hit, man, and this hit still today a little bit. Obviously, it's still fucking good. I mean, this was
Right.
He has comedic timing and skill more than any other person we might talk about on this channel. I think by far.
Yeah, I mean, that guy with the glasses crew definitely wanted to poach him for their content. And
yes,
it was
no
a good
one
get for
touched
them.
him. No one touched him on that fucking channel, in my opinion. Nobody.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, what's the guy from France? He had some funny stuff.
Benzai?
Benzai. I think Benzai had some talent. He kind of went bad as well. I don't remember exactly how, but he had some funny moments.
Yeah, I think he went legit and he had like an actual career on the side, so he didn't have to stick around that much.
Oh,
yes.
What the fuck am I supposed to do there when they
Standing in
were
my position, sir.
again with the fucking
Hands in the air now!
I'm gonna get out of the way here. There what? Oh, you fool! I'm drunk. Oh.
Something's in the way.
Crap, he's standing in the door.
We have suspects.
Don't throw the grenade! You fool!
You fool! Would be a common meme as well.
Yeah, throw a grenade in there, flush him out.
Great aim.
Oh, fuck you!
That's
fool!
DSP right there.
You guys are some seriously sick motherfuckers. You know that?
Interesting fun fact about SWAT 4 was actually written by Ken Levine, who directed BioShock, which is why there is some parts of it that are darker than you would expect from a SWAT game. Like in this level in particular, you're raiding a sort of David Koresh style doomsday cult, and when you make your way down into the basement, you find out that they had killed all their children and buried them in child mass graves. So it's kind of a moral dilemma. You have these guys here, like, and you really, as the player, have to decide, like, do I want to take these guys in for custody, or do I just want to like cap them all for what they've done?
Yeah,
It's one of those very, very subtle, like, it's not even like directly asked for in the game. It's not like a Mass Effect style Renegade or Paragon option.
Mhm.
It's something that happens a lot more naturally.
Cambered out the floor and built an ad hoc graveyard for your fucking children? I ought to kill all you motherfuckers right now. That's fucking nasty.
And now we're in 2010. Before we move on, in 2009, Spoony wins the Mashable Open Web Awards for Best Actor/Actress to Follow.
And
So
that
he
sounds
was-
stupid, but that's back in the day when those kind of awards were like kind of hype still, in my memory. Like it sounded hype at least. But
Yeah.
what's your memory, Ludwig?
Yeah, Mashable Open Web Awards. That's something that was open to the public, so that was voted on.
Okay, there you
by
go.
the public. Yeah, so
So-
he won the vote for Best Actor to Follow at the time in 2009, which is no small accolade.
Definitely.
In 2010, Spoony is diagnosed with a nerve condition called vasodepressor syncope. Basically, what it means is that when his heart rate goes above 130 beats per minute, he passes out. And he's also diagnosed with type 2 bipolar disorder.
Okay, so in your memory, did he? I don't remember any of that shit. Like, I don't remember that being a part of his content, really. Maybe it was just me not giving a shit and just like, all right, well, I'll wait till funny video. But was that in part of his content at this point in your memory, Ludwig, or what?
You hear about it a little bit in the behind-the-scenes commentary of Kickassia, because there's a scene there where they all have to run across like the Arizona Badlands, and he's talking about how he almost nearly passed out doing that.
Okay.
But the thing about being an internet content creator and video editor and gamer is that your heart rate doesn't really go above 130 beats per minute anyways. So it's basically the perfect career to have if you have a condition like that. Bipolar, right?
Back
Bipolar
injury.
2, not so much. Right.
Yeah,
back
same with the
injury.
back injury. Yeah, it's perfect thing. So 2010 is when, I mean, it's safe to say he's almost on top of his game. We're approaching peak Spoony years now, or are we almost there, or what?
Yeah, this is when he's being invited to E3.
Okay, good. Okay, let's go. Let's keep going. This
Is the same year as the Battlefield Earth review. This is the same year as Kickassia. So this is a banner year, 2010.
Mm-hmm. So this is when.
And so,
okay,
yeah,
we gotta play
I
this real
saw
quick.
the
Can we set
and there
just to
was
set it
one-
up? So this is when he was already on the level. This is when Angry Joe was not as big as he is now either. I mean, he's still a huge name, but not that big. And
Pedro right here.
Yeah, and this is one of the moments that obviously was most famous. That some people that he just. Why did he say betrayal here? Was there something was this the first betrayal, or was this already a meme before that? I know the famous betrayal was coming up later, but
this is where it originated.
Okay.
This is in response to a trailer for XCOM: The Bureau, which was like a first-person sort of reboot of XCOM that didn't look anything like the original top-down RTS XCOM from the DOS days, which he was a really big fan of, and when he saw this, he was very, very betrayed.
Yes.
This moment reminds me of that Hurricane Katrina video with Kanye next to Mike Myers, where Kanye goes like full ham, and Mike Myers is like he's trying to act like he I don't know this guy. Like,
yeah,
definitely here.
Absolutely.
To disturb Angry Joe to that extent is quite a feat. Someone who's known for his screaming and anger.
Yes.
You'll see it here.
Word searing through my mind like bolts of fire, and that word betrayal.
What?
You can see the people behind him are looking around like, geez, where is that coming from?
Betrayal.
Like Joe is like I really shocked by that, right? But
yeah, that expression says it all.
Yeah, like he's legitimately shocked by this. But you got to give Spoony credit for having an opinion and going all out on it. Was the right time? Was the right place? I don't know, but we'll see. Some people had some takes on this, but this was a very obviously surprising thing for Angry Joe at this time.
Is the audio good for the viewers, or is that a little bit too loud?
I mean, he's screaming, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
Betrayed me.
Yeah.
This game sucks. It has nothing to do with XCOM. Nothing.
Literally
Nothing.
stomping.
I think this is the birth of Angry Spoony.
Nothing to do with XCOM. Like the first thing they did, they were like, "Okay, here's XCOM, it's gonna."
I'm not with him.
I'm not with him.
Firaxis would later make a more true to form XCOM game. So in hindsight, that complaining was it wasn't really justified. But Lord Cat, another member of that guy with the glasses, another tie-in to DSP. Lord Cat set up a sort of sister website to that guy with the glasses called Blistered Thumbs, and DSP had been invited to be a part of that site, but I guess that didn't turn out after he was banned off of Blip.
Yes, I remember that being a thing. I think Angry Joe was in charge of that for a while as well. I believe, if memory serves, of course. But yeah, that was the kind of sister side of that guy with the glasses, and Spoony was the biggest fucking dude on there, guy.
Yeah, it was more Lord Cat and a guy named Sean Fowles who was in charge of Blistered Thumbs. It was like a video game review site, like a sort of grassroots game review site. And it would really vie for attention from publishers. They would want to get free games, obviously. So there was a lot riding on that.
And I remember that site. I would go to it and like, all right, Spoonie's new video, check it out. Let me check out someone else, and it just wasn't there. I don't know why, but it wasn't as good as Spoony in my mind. So I was just like, I'm a Spoony fan. I don't give a shit about Blistered Thumbs, but that was just my experience. But
oh yeah, that's right. Mike Machad was also a part of Blistered Thumbs.
Oh, there's a name.
I believe he was the second fiddle to the angry video game nerd, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Motherfucker Mike. And so this is Lord Cat sort of recounting the fallout from Spoony yelling betrayal at the floor of E3, and also Angry Joe going around and he was asking for photo ops of him like having his hands around the neck of certain design directors, just to sort of send that to his audience about how look, I'm expressing my anger of these games to these game developers. And needless to say, a lot of those game developers were not very happy with that sort of PR.
Yeah. That's kind of looks bad on everybody when you do that. Not very professional. But
yeah. Look, the fans are strangling me for the mistakes I made in my video game. They're not going to be down with that.
When you were at E3 that one year, and you decided to go up and down the hallways screaming about XCOM's betrayal, and Joe decided to ask people, "Can I choke you on camera?" Guess what happened, Spoony?
Oh, I'm getting them mixed up. It's not the same Mike as the angry video game.
Yeah, Mike. That's Mike Matei. Mike Matei.
Oh, dang, you're right.
Yeah.
Not the
there.
Joker.
We got there.
Fucking happened.
Again, I love Chad for being able to correct me on this.
Turned its back on me, not you, not.
No, I gotta be more Spoony. Like, yeah, I was wrong, but still, fuck you.
Stop the emails.
I don't
the
fucking
comments.
care, okay?
Yeah.
It's no big deal, all right? It wasn't that. It's no big, okay?
No, not blistered thumbs. Me.
All right, so real quick
yeah,
there. I mean, Lord Cat. I remember watching that. That was pretty. When it came out, that was many years later after the fact. Obviously, Lord Cat brought that out, and you never know if what Lord Cat, like, you have to agree what Lord Cat says or what it doesn't. It seems like a bad look though from the outside, right? I mean, if you're a game developer, do you really want to be dealing with a company that says like, "Let me choke you. Let me have a picture of us choking you"? It makes sense, that part, right? I mean, I don't know how much that affected Lord Cat directly, but come on, it makes sense.
Well, in hindsight, he felt it was a little bit overblown. He had made an account on Kiwi Farms and actually gave a little bit more details about that event. And as a lot of us know, years later, the video game journalism industry would implode in on itself anyways. So it's not like being a part of it was going to really pay out for him in the long run anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah. He blames Spoony for that falling out.
Yes.
So Battlefield Earth introduced a reoccurring character, Turl, played by Spoony. This is when he would be doing cameos in Nostalgia Critic videos, and they were met with a pretty good reception. I remember showing this to a friend at the time, and he was kind of confused. Didn't really get it. There's one part in this review where Doug Walker is literally just saying stupid, 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 and it goes on for like an entire minute, and it just gets louder and louder and faster. And unless you're like early teens, you're kind of cringing and looking around, being like, when is this bit gonna end? But that's Nostalgia Critic videos for you in a nutshell.
Oh god, because I don't remember this character at all. And you know why? Because it was fucking the guy with the glasses and all these fucking skits. Like Kick Assia, I thought that was the worst shit of all time. Back then, too.
Oh, wow.
I thought it was so lame. Like, these jokes are not good. This random fighting and stuff. Like, did you like that legitimate? No hate, obviously. Everyone likes what they like. Did you like it back in the day? Did you think Kick Assia was funny?
To me, it was pretty endearing because it was like a big crossover event. It was all these people that you had only seen up till then have their own thing, and then Doug would basically fly them out and not much else. No catering, no real other financial compensation. He would basically pay them with the ability to have crossover collaboration videos, and then they would put those on their site, and then they would draw in like the ad revenue, basically being paid in exposure.
Yes, and I first I want to say, I'm not hating on that guy with the glasses. Because I think he was like an innovator, man. Really, even though I don't think he's funny at all, he definitely saw what could happen when you put two people together, really put in the fucking work to make these fucking videos. I mean, that's hype, man. That's really cool that he did that.
And this is an actual M. Bison hat, by the way.
That's what it's supposed
authentic.
to look like. Yeah, that's what it's supposed to look like.
It's not a military pilot hat from that famous military pilot M. Bison. No, it's very, very true to form.
Big ups to Down Forward Punch agrees. Point out the same thing. Doug is wearing the Pigler hat. Yeah, it's a little bit different, but yeah.
A notable moment, Noah as his character, Dr. Insano, gets into a big fight with Doug as M. Bison, and they have a play fight where Doug's cape gets ripped. and this allegedly makes them very angry at each other. So you can see this is one of the big scenes where they're running through. This is the one where Spoony says he nearly passes out because of just the heat. There's Linkara, there's Mars Girl, there's like explosions.
Oh, look at that real quick. I saw somebody too that we should point out. Handsome fucking Tom, and Handsome Tom is friends. Handsome Tom was the sidekick of our very own, or I should say our very own, side scrollers Craig, and they worked together to make Screw Attack, and that is the sidekick. Only he was there, not Craig at this point, because they already split up, and he was a part of a website known as the Game Heroes, and that's some good knowledge drop right there. You could say thanks. I didn't know that, Derek, to me on that one.
Thank you. Yeah, Stuttering Craig and Handsome Tom were a duo.
Yes,
but Handsome Tom, he's like 6'4". He definitely lives up to the name. The guy's huge. Mars Girl gets blown up. Thank God.
Mars Girl. Oh God, Mars Girl.
Yeah, we're gonna get to her. There are some funny jokes in here. You can see Handsome Tom there on the left. And some funny jokes, like they get stopped by a chain link fence, and Joe is just like shooting at it, and he's like, the bullets, they just go through the holes. So there's some funny jokes. A little bit is overblown, but there's some moments.
Maybe I should give it another shot. Maybe I should. I remember
there's a lot of videos that go over the anniversary videos.
Yeah, this is like my first time seeing this, literally, because I just didn't give it a shot. Maybe that was my own fault. Oh, also, there's the guy that... What's the guy's... Oh, yeah, here's the fight. This is important. Remember, he ripped the jacket, or the cape.
The cape, yeah.
And that led to them not speaking, right? Do I have that correct? I believe that's correct, right?
Yeah, I think for a whole day.
Yeah. They didn't talk to each other because he ripped the cape. Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, and there's scenes like this that just go on for way too long, and it's this Looney Tunes style slapstick. And it would only get worse from here. In the later anniversary videos, there's Film Brain.
Film Brain, there's a name for you. Film Brain, no one cares, even in the fight.
Right.
Jew Oreo. Oh, there's Benzai.
Oh no, yeah, we're gonna get into the details of all these people, but this is their early innocent days. God, I'm sure that actually hurt.
Yeah, I know.
Unless that was a fake stethoscope.
So yeah, Project 7 was what year? Just to bring it, OMG Zelda, I saw that. Project 7 came out in what year? Just so we can have some kind of comparison
I don't recall. I'm sure that would be very quick to quick look up. Let's see, year of Project 7, maybe
2012. 2012 was the pilot.
2012. Okay, so this is 2010 at this point.
And this is, I'm gonna be honest, I haven't seen much of it, but it's fucking better than Project 7. Not the effects. But, because the effects of Project 7 were hype for the time. But, this is Project 7 level 2 years before Project 7 came out.
Yeah, one thing that Doug was a lot better at was differentiating the characters and giving them their own particular personalities based off of what he knew about them in their reviews. Whereas DSP, he didn't really understand that. If DSP wrote, this is the line I use, that if DSP wrote Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you would just have 4 Michelangelos. Like they would not have their distinct personalities because, like in Project 7, DSP, John Rambo, and Howard, they were basically just the same characters spouting out different lines.
Good point. That's a good way to say that. Yeah. Oh, there she is.
Oh, God.
There she is. Lindsay. Lindsay. The
I don't go over this
chick.
The nostalgia chick. I don't go over this in the video, but there was a video series called Spooning with Spoony, which is what the thumbnail is based off of.
Yes.
And Lindsay was so embarrassed by it that she would eventually try and copyright claim the videos, try and get them taken down off the internet. That's how embarrassed she was by it. But sorry, you can't get rid of the archives.
Wasn't there, not to derail, but wasn't there another one from her that was the R-word song, let's say?
Right.
The
grape rap.
Yes.
We're just rapping about grapes.
Yep, nothing to say about that. A lot of grapes.
We're now in 2011. In January, Spoony goes to MagFest 9 and does a stand-up routine. So he's doing like stand-up at conventions.
Okay, wow.
Oh, this is the year of Suburban Nights, which I could have sworn took place before Kick-Assia, because the weird thing about Suburban Nights, I guess you haven't seen the anniversary videos.
No.
But Suburban Nights can just be summarized in just people in costumes walking. That's basically the entire quote-unquote movie.
Real quick, I want to get a roll call here. That is Drew Wario on the right, who at
Right.
by this time in my life, I was in Japan. And he was also did a lot of stuff with Japan, like you can play, like he was like how to play games and stuff. So I thought he was, I thought he was cool. I mean, I watched his stuff, and I thought Drew Wario was pretty cool. I did watch his stuff all the time.
Yeah, it was called You Can't Play This. It was a whole series about imports from Japan that weren't exactly translated, but he would tell you, what buttons did what dialogue things did what. So basically, even if it wasn't translated, you could still play it and enjoy it on the merits of its own video game. In between, you can see Brad Jones, a little guy in there, just as Indiana Jones. Drew Wario is the Goblin King from Labyrinth.
Yep. Obviously. Come on, everyone knows that. Just kidding. There's Mars Girl, and
there's Todd in the shadows in the back there with half his face covered.
Oh,
there's Spoony there as Gandalf.
Yep.
But yeah, this one was kind of infamous in one of the actors spraining their ankle during a stunt, and there being really no workman's comp, and Doug just basically being like, "Well, we'll walk it off."
Yeah, basically
kind of got cited later as the lack of professionalism in the whole production.
Yep, the saying "Go fuck yourself." Basically, there is Angry Joe again, house, and so this one though is seen as not as good as Kick-Assia, right? In the remember, yeah, okay.
To the point that I could have swore it took place before Kick-Assia, because it seems like such a lower budget production. But no, it builds on top of the contrived storyline that carries its way through all three movies. It contradicts itself and is terrible to follow. For people who reviewed movies, I don't think they were prepared for the sort of scrutiny that same scrutiny being applied to themselves.
Yes, that's a good way to say it. Yeah.
Yeah, unlike Siskel and Ebert, who directed their own award-winning movies, these reviewers making their own movies couldn't hold a candle to even the worst movies that they were reviewing.
Yeah,
which is kind of embarrassing.
That's why I was out on these. So out, not a mistake.
This is the same year that Spoony's younger brother Miles shoots an armed illegal alien in self-defense.
Yes, worth mentioning. Yes, worth mentioning. He did. So keep going. I don't want to say anything until we get the whole story.
I believe it was Ebert who directed a movie called In the Valley of the Dolls, which was it won an award. That's all I know about it. There's Spoony doing his acting, which I still believe he was the best character actor in that entire group. He was the best at playing a character, and which is why they gave him a lot of lines. After Miles shot the illegal alien, he was pardoned by Sheriff Joe Arpaio, because this took place in Arizona, which for a couple of left-wingers, they were very, very resentful that a guy like Arpaio was basically their saving grace and saved them a lot of headache. The meme "Won but not forgotten" somehow becomes a running gag to troll Spoony with, making him very upset.
Yes.
Like with all lolcows, his unhinged reactions are what keeps the trolls going strong. Yes. He even warns them that if they keep bringing it up, then Miles will shoot them. It's like, you don't want to fuck with a guy who's armed and trained with a gun, you guys. It's like, well, that's a good idea. That's a way to keep them off your back.
Yeah, getting totally unhinged and saying shit like Miles will shoot them. Very smart, very smart. Mm-hmm. Also, so, at this point, is he already going nuts on Twitter or not yet? Because that becomes a story where like all of Spoony's output starts going on Twitter, like every day it goes to fucking insane, or we're not there yet? Does Trump bring that out? Trump is the one that brings that out?
After the Patreon peak is when he runs to Twitter. But this is the year that him and Scarlett break up. And since Scarlett was the moderator of the website and also did a lot of editing the videos, the videos take a lot longer to come out now since he has to do it all himself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And this was something where I remember following this, and this was big news. And this is when Noah just seemed off, and he did seem depressed in the stuff I remember from this time. But yeah, as you can see, look at this melodramatic emo tweeter we have right here. I mean, come on.
Thank you, Lasagna Cat. Yeah, Siskel didn't make movies. It was Ebert, and he wrote it. He didn't direct it.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very good. Thank you. Yeah, very very melodramatic tweet. Something you don't want to talk about your exes about. A red dragon tore out my heart and ate it. I henceforth name this dragon Scarlet. Oh, boo-hoo.
I mean, that's kind of cringe. I mean, I mean, that is not kind of cringe. That is cringe. And put that on Twitter. It's like, come on, man. Come on.
Spoony streams Kingdom Hearts. This is basically the first game that he streamed, and it does not go well.
Akhiloff, I will bet you
This is how you don't treat your streaming audience.
$10,000 right now that Goofy has all his abilities equipped. 10,000.
Cool guy.
Well, he wouldn't take my bet, so I'm gonna check, but it's all fucking there. Hey, look, he has Rocket and Jackpot equipped. Fuck you! I want my $10,000.
Oops.
You retarded fuck pipe.
Oof.
Oh.
Good thing we're not on Twitch. Well, I'm streaming this on Twitch, just so everyone knows.
He does so! They're right fucking here!
Oh my god.
Notice this. Equip?
It's equipped!
It's equipped!
Oh my god, that is ridiculous. I've never seen
Right.
that.
How do you think people won't notice that? See, it's equipped.
Oh
Equips
my
it.
god. That horrible. I've never seen. Go to rinse and replay. Come on, we need to see that again. That's incredible.
Kingdom Hearts is not good luck for him or DSP.
No.
I want my $10,000. You retarded fuck pipe.
You can see he has one AP point remaining, meaning he can equip another skill.
He does so! They're right fucking here!
You can hear the sound, you can see the equip menu, you can see the AP change. Thinking no one notices that is very narcissistic.
Oh my wow. Yeah, 25 push-ups.
What's the matter with you?
I mean, at that point, he bet the guy $10,000. So what is he gonna do? So, give me your PayPal link.
Yeah.
It was in the list.
It was in the list.
I didn't lose anything.
Holy shit! Hold on. Ludwig, we just got the second Hogan pull of the fucking day.
Oh
10-star Hogan to Doden. Dude, that's 1 in 1,023 twice in one day. What are the odds of that shit? Someone do the math on that. Doden, you are a fucking legend. We remember forever, my friend. Remembered fucking forever.
Hopefully now 10,000 in debt.
Yes. All right, Doden. I'll get you in the description of the next video. Well, let's move on. Let's move on, Ludwig. Let's go.
Congratulations.
Awesome, dude. You're a legend. Bill Brasky in the follow-up got the penis ruler, the inaccurate. So great follow-up too. Great. Congratulations.
Bill Brasky with the girth.
Yes.
List if it wasn't equipped.
Like, when this is your first year of streaming, maybe you shouldn't be a streamer.
I don't even know what you guys are talking about.
What?
Like,
that's what he's saying here.
$10,000.
Oh, you still on it?
Shit-tard.
Right.
Let it go, man.
I wasn't wrong.
Like, comparatively, I've gotten so much enjoyment from streaming. It's been so fun, and I've learned so much about.
Hey, look, he has Rocket and Jackpot equipped.
Just being grateful towards your audience.
I want my $10,000. It was in the list. It was equipped. I didn't do anything.
They're still fighting it.
Yeah, it was. That's when you want to hang up the towel, because when that's your start, it does not bode well for the future going forward.
No, that's amazing. I can't believe I haven't seen that before. That's incredible. Good pull.
Yeah, there are a lot of embarrassing moments. Just there are a lot of examples of just Spoony straight up lying. So it's very hard to believe him when he says a lot of things. Someone who's willing to lie about things that you don't need to lie about is definitely willing to lie about things that he needs to lie about. Like, that's something you didn't need to lie about.
No.
A tradition gets launched in 2012 of Rebuary, an annual tradition of reviewing Reb Brown movies, which people look forward. Yeah.
Real quick, I thought this was hype. I love those. He's very funny in these. This was fucking hype. Rebuary. I remember being hyped for those videos. They're very funny and still worth watching today because I watched some fucking last week and they're still good. Of course, there's some cringe, but they're still fucking good.
Oh yeah, and Reb Brown himself knows of Spoony.
Yep.
Talks about him fondly in a convention appearance.
Mm-hmm.
And the annual tradition thing is good. Just do not watch Your Hunter from the Future on stream. When I tried to watch that review on stream, I was hit with a community guideline strike for scams and deceptive practices, and the appeal was not approved. So that was the first and only warning on my channel, which for YouTube warnings don't go away. So every time I log into my YouTube dashboard, I see the nice yellow warning sign. And it's
Holy
a nice reminder
shit.
that I had watched Your Hunter from the Future, the review on my channel, and got a community guideline strike for scams and deceptive practices, which still does not make any sense to me.
Fucking Yor. Who knew? Yor, like he's the
so be
man.
careful.
Yeah, awesome song there in that movie. But
I have that song in my soundboard. He's the man. It's such a good song. At this point, we're at the 3rd anniversary video to Boldly Flee.
Mm-hmm.
And oh boy, I'm sure a lot of people have things to say about To Boldly Flee. This movie is 3 hours long.
Yep.
Which is ridiculous. And there is a extremely long scene of Doug Walker dressed up as Judge Dredd, and he's filmed out in the field, and he's just like running around shooting the same 3 people. And they're meant to look like an army of people, but they don't have that many actors, so it goes on way too long.
I've seen this through other people react to it or something, and yeah, it's nonsense. Like I just proving what I always thought was true, like confirming that. So like I never gave the rest another chance because like, all right, this sucks too. Fuck it. But yeah, I don't think no one liked this at the time.
Yeah, this is the kind of thing that gave DSP the confidence to make Project 7.
Yeah.
Cause people were doing this, and he was like, well, I can make crap too, and people will watch it. And he thought he could release DVDs and sell t-shirts, just like Doug Walker did. But the thing is like, this was all available to watch for free on YouTube. Why would you want to buy a DVD unless you were like a crazy, insane super fan?
Yeah, but here's the thing, and you'll remember this too. Those DVDs were all over the place. Everyone had a fucking DVD. AVGN started releasing them every fucking year. Screw Attack had one eventually, and everyone had DVDs. Like, it was just weird. Like, everyone's putting out DVDs. I know it's just another way to make money, but it was like, you're right, it doesn't make sense, but everyone fucking had them, you know?
Yeah, a better business model would have the short version released as a YouTube video, and then you would have the extended, longer version on the DVD.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a much better idea, but they didn't go with that. It's also like very weird, this movie. It opens up with like a debate on SOPA and PIPA.
Oh, hey.
yeah, copyright protection law that is just it was much ado about nothing, a big nothing burger that went nowhere, but that was a huge part of the movie.
Good point. Real quick. Good point by Bridger Merchant. DVDs were higher quality than YouTube for the most part too. That's a good point too. That's something.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
because back then it was like 480 or something like that.
Yeah.
For some reason, are we still connected?
Yeah, we're back.
Okay.
It just came back.
For some reason, Doug had a really weird way of writing his characters. He would basically just write them based off what he felt about their reviews. So, yeah, I mean, at the time, Spoony was diagnosed with bipolar 2, the quickening, and his mental state wasn't really all that stable. And Doug, I think in a very tactless move, wrote his character in the movie as extremely mentally ill.
Oh,
I don't know what people's take on that was, but
well, that's maybe him trying to like. It seems like a joke he would make, though, right? Like make fun of people for their, what others might consider their weakness. Let's make fun of that. I think that was a pretty common thing for that guy with the glasses, right? Like, people's weakness is what you make fun of, and we're all cool, right? So it's fine to make fun of this.
I guess at the time it made sense, but in hindsight, it was very odd and very uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be like, okay, you have mental problems, you take medication for your bipolar. Let's have your character in the movie. One of his big things is that he's not all there in the head. Okay. Colin Mockery's son there, who even though he didn't review movies, was given a leading role in To Boldly Flee simply for being Colin Mockery's son.
Sounds good.
from whose line is it anyway?
Is this
so
the movie
where
that the Heart guy is in? I remember that very fondly.
Mati,
yeah,
yeah.
Mati. Yeah, Mati. That's a name you didn't expect to hear it on this Sunday. Mati.
Such a convoluted plot. So many scenes that go on for too long. Again, this is a 3-hour long movie. So much of this could have been cut out, and it would have been fine. No, 3.5 hours long. That's right. I have this in my notes. 3.5 hours long, which is insane.
Spoony acted his
There's
heart
like,
out.
There's musical numbers, all kind of shit.
Nostalgia check hype there. Here we go.
Again, you even see like, okay, we get it. We get the point.
Yeah. Like this scene could be 10 seconds. Look, notice he's wearing the samurai. What's that game called?
Zombie Nation shirt.
Yeah, Zombie Nation shirt. Shout outs to his earlier playthroughs there.
There's Lindsay Ellis's two friends there. But yeah, just make the longer version on the DVD. That way people will buy the DVD if they want like the director's cut. But no, there was no difference between the release and the director's cut.
This is a fucking director's cut. Come on.
Great special effects. The thing about the end of this movie is everyone looks so uncomfortable. You can count the number of people who have their arms crossed, which is a universal sign of displeasure. Here we go.
Oh, here we go.
The infamous tweet.
Here we go.
Please don't clip me on this, but I'm just going to read it off.
Yes.
Jesu Otaku, if things don't work out with you and Nash, I'd be happy to chain you to a pipe in my basement and love you my way.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, it didn't really offend a whole lot of people. Just, this is Spoony. He's weird on Twitter. Obscurus Lupa, which was that guy with the glasses movie participant, did comment that it wasn't even funny creepy. It was just creepy.
Yes, but still, we should say that was it wasn't that big of holy shit. At that moment when it came out, she said that, and I know people had umbrage with it, but it wasn't get your ass off the site. It wasn't we got to ban Noah. It wasn't that reaction right when it came out initially, right? It took a few days, didn't it, to get the team to make a move, right?
No, it was mainly forgotten. It wasn't until later.
Forgotten, right? Yeah, okay, yeah, there we go. That's what I thought.
Yeah, it was mostly just swept under the rug as just usual Twitter banter. It wasn't until Lupa brought it up later during another tweet that she found. That was when she, a lot of people do this in arguments. Once the straw breaks the camel's back, that's when people start bringing up other things that they did in the past.
Yeah.
That they typically ignored, but once it's all out there, they're like, hey, you know what? By the way, this isn't just the only reason why I'm fed up with you. There are other reasons, earlier that I didn't really bring up.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of those cases. The tweet where she finally got fed up is when he's like, man, this is messed up. When a woman screws you up so bad, you wish you were a dog. And then Allison I'm just gonna unfollow you.
Yeah.
And this sends Noah into a psychological tailspin.
Yes.
He does not take it well at all.
Nope.
It's like, oh, Lupa hates me now too. Gonna have to bust out the Adele playlist for this breakup. And that's when she brings up the earlier rape tweet and quote unquote. It is a joke. We don't need people to come and qualify what is and it is not a joke. It was definitely a joke at the time, even though it was just an uncomfortable joke.
Yeah, let's get real. He was trying to be funny. In his goal was to be funny with that. I mean, that's what he was trying to do. So yes, he was trying to be funny, have a good laugh with that joke that obviously was not, went too far, but that was a joke, right?
Mm-hmm. And he didn't have to take it as badly as he did, but he just couldn't let it go. It's like, I beg forgiveness knowing full well I wouldn't be worth pissing on my face if it was on fire. This is the kind of thing that people do. It's very bad damage control. Basically mocking people for being offended by what you've done, being like, "I'm worse than Hitler. I should roast in hell if there was a pit deep enough for my sin." It's like, okay, we're just saying I can't follow you anymore because your tweets are kind of weird and creepy.
This is we see the pattern now, right? I mean, this is the same thing as he did with the fucking viewers, right? So. I've got the point. I see what you're saying, and now let me say all this irrelevant stuff to kind of get off the scent. But now he's going to extreme emo. I mean, this is just extreme emo. Yeah, whatever. If you think I'm wrong, you're an asshole. Fuck you. I'm like Hitler. It's just extremism for the sake of it. DSP does do this tactic as well. Extremism to escape the real argument there. He just goes to level 1000 instead of going to level 5. He'll just like go to, oh yeah, well yeah, people say I'm a murderer, I should kill people and
Right.
stuff like that. That he's doing the same exact
It's the
thing.
worst thing in the world. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, just again, just mocking anyone who is offended instead of, seeing it for what it is and calming down. Like, literally, please take my penis, burn it.
I mean, come
Jesus
on,
Christ, man.
I could rend my clothes asunder and wear sackcloth, flagellate myself with a barbed whip. Great joke.
And people were telling him, like, dude, calm down. And when Twitter is your entire world, being told to stop tweeting is basically like an infringement on your First Amendment rights. That's how you treat it.
Yes.
And of course he doubled down, tripled down until finally they're like, okay, like we're done with you. So the initial Jesu Otaku tweet wasn't what got him removed off the site. It was his blow up later after Lupa had unfollowed him.
And really forced their hand, right? Let's get real. Like, they had no fucking choice at that point. It's like, all right, we got to get rid of him because he's taking down everybody. And that's when people from the site were kind of siding with Lupa there, right? Like, it was everyone's in support of Lupa, obviously. And then it was like, all right, we got to get rid of him. They had no choice.
Simping for the lady, of course.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, they were all ticking time bombs. They were all liabilities, which did eventually drive Doug to get rid of them all and replace them with a more like SAG-approved skeleton crew.
Before we get to this, though,
today.
Before we move on, I do want to say that at this point, Spoony said, I remember it, he said, I'm leaving because, like, it's kind of my choice, right? He tried to play that. Like, it was my choice. You know what? Honestly, that's how you don't. That got the glasses. Like, I don't really get a lot of views from them. It's kind of a mutual thing. Like, he tried to play that card. I remember
it was an amicable breakup, basically very machinima-like.
Yes.
Like, oh, yeah, we decided to part ways. I saw the writing on the wall, that kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely. That was it. It was the classic, I wasn't fired, I quit. Yeah, there you Thanks for saying that better, R Master. That was it, yep.
In 2013, that being removed on the site is when Spoonie's thread on Kiwi Farms really begins, is in 2013. That's when he starts becoming a lolcow. Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, that was pretty lolcow behavior. I don't think anyone would argue with that.
Yeah, it's still like a budding, right? He could go either way. Like, he could be not... the thread could be really short at this point, or it could go to what it turned into, and then obviously the latter happened, but yeah.
Yeah, it was the beginning of his downfall and the beginning of when people really started cataloging his content. And I have personally went through all 4,132 pages of his Kiwi Farms thread in order to put together this text file, which is not easy.
No.
As the site is a constant victim of DDoS attacks.
Yep.
So it's not easy. But anyways, this 2013 is the year of the Ultima retrospective. So being unchained from that guy with the glasses freed him to do more longer form video game reviews, like with the entire Ultima series, starting with Ultima 0, aka Calibeth, and ending with Ultima 9, Ascension.
Yes, and as this video plays, I can tell you, this is my favorite thing that Spoony ever did, was this. And the reason is because you could see his passion for the game, and he went through all the fucking games to build you up why it does matter to him, and then it goes to the last game, which is another betrayal, and that build up was a magical thing. It was really special.
Yeah, good animation, artwork by Andrew Dickman for the Guardian.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm getting some lore wrong. If you want to correct me on the lore, you're free to comment.
Please, yes, so you can correct me. We're not experts. Come on, we're just doing our best, trying to share the stuff. And fucking Ludwig did so much fucking work on this thing. But so yeah, this was this was magic. This, if you haven't seen it, watch it because it's worth it. I promise it. I promise you, it's awesome.
Ultima 9 Part 1 has 1 million views.
Wow.
While Part 2 is not even on his channel. It had to be removed for, I guess, copyright reasons. But that would have been another part that had 1 million views. It's only viewable from re-upload.
And that happens from replays and replays and replays. It's absolutely that. It's special. This is, I mean, the last best thing he did. I mean, that's what it is. What turned out to be.
I agree there. It ends on a pretty dark note. He's very upset by EA buying up Ultima and making a 3D open world game with a lot of lore inaccuracies. The famous line, "What's a paladin?" When you're playing the Avatar, who's the same person from Ultima 1, he should know these things.
I gotta show you this bit. It's skipping ahead a little bit. But
Classic.
I'm gonna show you the absolute worst line in the entire fucking game.
Get your hair out of your mouth.
What's a paladin? What's a paladin?
What's a paladin?
What's a paladin?
Show it again.
What's a paladin?
Again.
What's a paladin?
Again.
What's a paladin?
What's a paladin?
Your knowledge of the land shall be great.
What's a paladin?
What's a paladin? Fuck you! There's nothing I can care about so much that I won't eventually see it turn to shit and betrayal.
Oh boy.
List them off.
Peak emo Black Lantern Spoony here.
Ultima, Star Wars, Indiana Jones, fucking Spider-Man with One More Day.
You weren't a comic book reader. This is like throwing a bone to the Linkara fan base.
Comic books in general, Final Fantasy, fuck my job, my fucking life.
Oh, boo-hoo.
Oh, God,
it's
crying.
so melodramatic.
Yeah. But
my
real quick,
job, my fucking life.
Real
You would
quick.
give anything today to go back to this time.
Oh
here.
God, he was the talk, man. He was a real guy on the internet at this point. But what I'm telling you guys is that this last part about this filleting of Ultima, all the build up to all the other games was for that betrayal. Like, he built it up for that betrayal. That's why he did all the earlier games, is what he said. But who knows if it's true. But he went through all the other games to show you the depth of that betrayal right there. Like, in the previous game to this, that's the Paladin, your friend, I forget his fucking name. He kills himself for you so you can live in the game that happened a few games before the one in question, Ultima 9. And he's a Paladin. So, like, come on, guys. You would know what a Paladin is. Dupre, thank you, everybody. You would know who a Paladin is because he saved your life. A Paladin saved your life. And that's what made this part, so you could feel the passion here. And obviously, he's going emo now, but the passion right there was something special.
Yeah, and Ultima games are how he bonded with his older brother. He remembers his older brother teaching him how to play computers using Ultima. And just to see where it ended up really hit him hard.
Yeah, yep.
Let's take it from me, all right? The most you people can hope to do is die before you can see everything that you take joy and comfort in out into filth and leave a steaming, stinking hole in your soul.
Sorry, guys. I'm sorry, Chad. Just hope you got your tetanus shot because you're getting cut on all this edge.
Yeah, right here. Great acting here.
Oh, okay. This is probably the year where Spoony and April start dating.
April. Another character enters the fray.
April Von Lawn, which who knows if that's a real name or not.
I remember about April Von Lawn is she loved Skyrim. She loved the mods of Skyrim. I remember that from her Twitter. I used to follow the Twitter. It was just like all these mods of Skyrim and stuff.
And she loved the Iron Bull from Dragon Age Inquisition.
Yeah, and she defended Spoony a lot on Twitter as well. I saw that a lot too.
The Iron Bull is like, she's a big fan of bulls, which is kind of awkward. Spoony launches or is this playing the black hole of board games, which might be why our screen is black. I don't know.
Yeah, it's black. Yeah.
It involves plastering board games on his wall and reviewing several VHS tapes. In hindsight, this decision seems kind of terrible at maintaining his momentum. The black hole of board games. I don't know. A lot of people are doing board game content, like James Rolfe with Board James.
You go forward like 2 minutes, it starts again the video.
Yeah, I must have had a gap here.
It's all right. Yeah, but back in the day, it's for the. There we go. This is what he was doing. Board games, a new kind of venture for him, and I thought it was good at the time. It seemed pretty good. It was. It felt different. I do remember it feeling different, and now if you watch it, it feels even more different, kind of. But it was at the time. It was cool for a fan, for me. a fan of Spoony at the time.
Yeah, it was built off the home version of Nightmare, so it was like a VHS game, and that's where the blago comes from. Like you roll a dice and you get sent to the blago, and you have to roll like a 6 or a 4 in order to get out of the blago. But also at the time, Jimmy Fallon was reviewing bad board games on his show, so Spoony made a video pitching basically himself to be on Jimmy Fallon, saying some really weird things. If you go and watch it, it's kind of embarrassing.
That was cringe. That was cringe. That was hardcore cringe. He was trying to get on Jimmy Fallon's show. That was bad. Yeah.
Yeah, just let him know. Maybe email them at so-and-so and get me on the show. The show needs me is what he says at the end of the video. And if you look at the thumbnail of the video, the thumbnail is really, really bad because it says Jimmy Fallon must go. And on the other side of the thumbnail, it says into the Black Hole of board games. So if you just saw the thumbnail, if Jimmy Fallon had this video sent to his inbox and he just saw the thumbnail, it would look like an anti-Jimmy Fallon video because it just says Jimmy Fallon must go.
Great.
Because it was very badly formatted.
Classic.
But he makes this pitch video. He says the show needs me. He hypes himself up way too much. And it's very odd because these, like a lot of these board games he just bought and then he just plastered them on his wall. It seems kind of inauthentic.
It's
even though I'm sure
we'll say this in the wrap up too, I'm sure, but like this is one of the moments where you felt like Spoony didn't really want to be doing this. Like he wanted to be doing more. I think he really did want to make a movie. He wanted to be a director. He really wanted to be on TV. Like for him, being a YouTube star was not the goal at all. And it kind of probably had diminishing returns of his happiness as well. You know what I mean?
Delusions of grandeur for sure. Yes. And I think a lot of that was what rubbed off him from Doug Walker. Because Doug Walker at the same time was like, yeah, I don't want to do YouTube stuff my whole life. I want to eventually end up in Hollywood. Yeah. Which that didn't work out. We're in 2014. Spoony reviews Highlander, the Jaguar CD game. No.
I'm serious. I didn't edit that. That's really what happens.
Quality pratfalls. Good physical comedy here.
Here we go.
Oh God.
Like this is good. Like this gets the idea across beautifully.
Yeah, and it's so applicable to a lot of games, like even Resident Evil with the fixed camera thing. Yeah. Like you're walking one direction, the camera changes, and all of a sudden you're like walking to the right, and it's like, oh wait, I gotta adjust my controls. Oh. Okay, this 2014, bad year or good depending on how you look on it. Yes. Spoony opens up a Patreon, setting a stretch goal of $5,000 a month to begin pre-production of a movie. A lot of people get this confused. They think that his goal was to make a movie. It was actually just to write a movie script. So
yeah. So I remember when this came out. I remember when the Patreon was set up. I was never a patron. Were you ever a patron, Ludwig?
No.
Okay, we both were not patrons, but I remember one of my friends was patron. Like it was a big deal. Like Spoony was still huge at this point, incredibly huge, huge enough to get $4,000 from or whatever, but ended up being $5,000 for his Patreon. And it just, I remember it just blew up. It was like the talk of the internet for that day when it came out. Patreon was like, holy shit, man! It got so big, you know.
Yeah. It's a very weird business model in hindsight because you think like, okay, you hit your $5,000 a month stretch goal to begin production of a movie. So what happens if it goes under that $5,000 level? Do you just stop production of the movie? You're like, oh, well, the movie's stalled now. We need to get that number up above 5K in order to continue production.
Like, I think legitimately he never thought he was going to get that much. I just think it was never even a question in his mind. You got to put a stretch goal. I'm sure they tell you that when you sign up on the website. Like, put a stretch goal to help people. And he's like, what can I do? All right, well, I'll do a movie. And
yeah, he had a $50,000 stretch goal to make like a Dr. Insano space laser. So a lot of them were joke goals.
Yeah. But like think about that. Like legitimately, like if you if you don't think something's going to happen, you put it on there as a joke, and then it does happen, and you're like, fuck. Like, think about how the downfall could have been caused by him just being like a throwaway thought. I got to put a stretch goal. I'll just do a movie, you know? Like, and that could have been the start of all this, what happens now, you know?
He could have, once he made a video announcing that he was going to do it, he was basically in for a penny, in for a pound.
Yeah.
What he should have done is just make the script in a month. Like, I don't know, chat, one yes, two no. If you were given $5,000 in order to make a movie script in a month, would you be able to do it? I'm sure a lot of people would say yes. Maybe people like DSP wouldn't be able to pull it off. You would end up with like a cocktail napkin with snot on it after the end of the month.
Yeah, like you just have to do something, right? Anything. But why he couldn't do that is what turned him into a lolcow, right? Is because he couldn't just do nothing. I don't think he has that in him, right? To put out stuff that he thinks is shit. Even if it's shit or not, if he thinks it's shit, he wouldn't put it out, I think.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of ones. That's an easy one. Now, here's where it gets tricky.
Okay.
Imagine you had a list of all the disabilities and physical ailments that you could possibly have in front of you. How many of those ailments could you stack on top of yourself that would have stopped you from making that movie script for $5,000 in 1 month? Like, I think I would take a lot to get me to not be able to do that. Like
Yes.
broken leg, laryngitis, bronchitis, ear infections, whatever, like gout. It would be hard to stop me from being able to fulfill that obligation.
Yes.
But Spoony was somehow unable to do that to this very day, and he's still charging people on Patreon and offering absolutely nothing in return.
Is this the announcement video, real quick, Ludwig? The one where he says, okay,
watch
I
it.
want to see that. Yeah, sweet.
The first thing, and the biggest thing that's probably going to change that you may notice, is social media, Twitter. From now on, you are essentially going to notice my complete my Twitter account is basically going to be completely abandoned.
A lie detector test determined that to be a lie.
The most untrue
news
statement
updates, site
spoken
updates,
by a human being.
Various site corrections and stuff like that. I'm pretty much done from Twitter. Twitter, Facebook, whatever. I'm kind of done with it. Got to shut it down.
Right.
No.
Losing a lot of time.
Dang.
Besides, arguing with people
Same.
on Twitter is not doing me any good.
Oh,
Hey, true statement coming out at least. That's true.
that takes another take. Arguing with people on Twitter is not doing me any good.
Site corrections and stuff like that. I'm pretty much done from Twitter. Twitter, Facebook, whatever. I'm kind of done with it. Got to shut it down. Done. Losing a lot of time there.
True.
Besides, arguing with people on Twitter is not doing me any good. Done. Over. Whatever.
Whatever.
Like, real quick, I know people did a study on Kiwi Farms on that. Like, he was up to like 100 tweets a day. Like, that's not overstating that, guys.
Mhm.
He was a maniac on Twitter. A maniac. Worse than Derek. We talk about Derek. He's worse than Derek. I don't know if this is doing that in this time, but maybe it was when Trump was around. I know Trump was really lit him on fire, but he's incredible amount of tweeting from Spoony. That's why that statement is so funny, because he loved that fucking Twitter.
Yeah, and imagine being one of his patrons, like one of his backers, and he's like, "Yeah, I made a video. I'm gonna hunker down. I'm gonna put everything on hold. The reviews are gonna continue, of course, but I'm gonna," which it didn't.
Nope.
And he's on Twitter arguing. You're pretty much obligated as like a shareholder to be like, "Hey, like, what are you doing?" And this sounded like one of them. It's been over a week since your vlog when you said you were pretty much done with Twitter. And Spoony argued with the guy, saying like, "This is part of my scripting, dude. Believe it or not, this is important, so lay the hell off." And the guy's like, "Wow, excuse me, but I'm not sure all your over 100 plus tweets have to do with scripting."
There you go. 100 plus right there.
Yeah. It's like, further, I do have time off, I don't have to justify myself to you. In fact, I'm wasting my time arguing with you. It's like, okay, yeah. Except in your vlog, you said you were done with Twitter, period. I'm certainly done with you, period. And the guy finally is like, "Well, at least I know how you feel about fans who are worried about not living up to your promises."
Yep. Dude, come on, man. So much. This dude is a legitimate fan asking a question, and what do you get? Goo gots. That's what you fucking get. Damn.
Now we're on the point of Juario. Not
There
a
we
whole
go.
lot. This doesn't have a whole lot to do with Spoony, but it definitely becomes a big excuse for why he is unproductive.
Yeah, worth mentioning.
Yeah, you can see the Jew Wario hat is in full display in memorandum, in memoriam.
Yes.
Hold on, let me pause this. Former that guy with the glasses member Justin Juwario Carmichael, creator of You Can Play This, takes his own life in his bathroom while his wife is just outside the door. As a side note, Angry Joe monetizes the video commemorating his life.
Yes.
So monetizing a friend's death, not above Angry Joe or Darkside Phil.
That's what got that amazing rant from Angry Joe, like saying, "What do you guys want? Just take my money or whatever." From his, he's taking out money from his wallet.
$2. He takes $2 out of his wallet and shakes in front of the camera.
Yeah,
okay.
like your whole net worth is in your wallet, Angry Joe. Come on, brother. Thanks.
The allegations of Juwario creeping on young fans was never fully confirmed. But from the behind-the-scenes back and forth with the upper management of that guy with the glasses, it did sound like they knew that he was a potential liability. It's possible that he did what he did as a way to keep his friends from suffering as a result of his proclivities being exposed. But that's just my speculation.
Yeah, I think like what you're leading on there is, I know when some shit got leaked about that guy with the glasses, like behind the scenes with the manager and shit, they did talk about him like, hey, that's going to be an issue.
Again.
Yeah, they didn't say it, but they said like, that's going to be an issue. We got to watch, like they're kind of worried about Jew Wario in a way you can't confirm, but it's probably that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I doubt someone would go to those lengths, that extreme, if it was just unfounded allegations. I think that would be something that you would fight if it was not true.
Yes. And if it's not true, then let's fight it. Yeah, they did not fight it. They were talking about like, hey, we got some problems here with this Jew Wario, but anyways.
Spoony is hit hardest by this for some reason, despite not being any closer to Carmichael than any other That Guy with the Glasses member. He often uses it as a reason for his crippling depression and inability to make videos.
Yeah, so of course we don't know what that could very well be true, but I do remember that was a big reason why Spoony had to did not do a lot of stuff, was because he's in depression and stuff.
And one of the things that really surprised me doing the research here is just how quickly after peaking on Patreon, Spoony started his decline. I used to think it was like a bell curve, like a sine wave. It was like a slope. It sloped up and then sloped down. But the more I look at it, it's more like a triangle. Like it went up and then it immediately went down. Because after he got his $5,000 a month on Patreon, a mere 4 months later, he purchases this house that you see here on screen, a 4-bedroom house, way too large for him and one other person. Like you only need 1 bedroom for that.
Yeah,
but it's pretty crazy.
Well, the crazy part about that is this: how soon, right? Patreon. I mean, who knows how much he was making before Patreon? But we know Patreon added that much, and maybe that was the impetus to say, "Fuck it, I can afford this house. Let's do it." And then he got that house. I mean, if you plan on having kids or something, I guess it makes sense there. But very soon after getting the Patreon, he did buy a house with that. With
4 months, like I think he peaked on Patreon like in November. And by February of the following year, he had closed on the house in Aurora, Illinois. It's a pretty wild. Many such cases with YouTubers. They get a little bit of money and it just burns a hole in their pocket instead of being more financially responsible. Spoony surpasses 100,000 subscribers on YouTube and gets his play button, as you can see here. Spoony disables comments at that point and never turns them back on. To this very day, there's no comments on his videos.
I wonder. Let's see the timeline in terms of when did DSP do the first turning off of comments, because maybe that was the thing to do. Angry Joe turned them off too. I can't forget the year on that, but he did eventually turn them off. It seems to be something that just happens to old YouTubers that as they age.
Yeah, never good for your YouTube metrics to not have comments. In February, after his Patreon peak, he purchases a house. He purchases a set for Counter Monkey.
Yes, Counter Monkey.
Yeah, it was a pretty entertaining show. It's basically, I think it was like 40 episodes, something like that, of him recalling and recounting stories from his D&D days, the tabletop role playing.
Yeah,
and they're pretty interesting, even if you're not a huge role player because he was very, very articulate, very passionate, very knowledgeable about the game.
Yep, that's
and
what I
some of
would
the
say.
stories
I don't give a shit
were
about
pretty
the
crazy.
Dungeons and Dragons, but I would watch those because that's the person talking about their hobby, their thing they're extremely invested in. And it's just cool. Like, he knows how to tell a story. He's very passionate, and it was entertaining. Even though I don't give a shit about the Dungeons and Dragons, and it was cool.
Yeah, like it's very easy to listen to someone if they're energetic and passionate and a good
Yeah.
storyteller. Even like his show Wrestle, which I didn't give any shits about wrestling. I didn't care about wrestling at all. But hearing like a passionate wrestling fan talk about them in such detail, I'm like, well, maybe I'll eventually glean something from this. It's just something to have on in the background while I was like, animating in Flash or whatever.
Yeah, like I didn't get into
Um,
wrestle as much, but same thing. If you catch on the story, it gets interesting. Because he's a good storyteller, and that's why he got fans. I mean, let's get real.
Yeah, I think a lot of that had to do with his bipolar, because he would tell those stories in like the midst of his manic bipolar high. So
Okay.
he was like cresting in his mania, and he would really belt it out, and then after that he would sort of crash.
That could be.
He tries streaming games with minimal effort. Many of the streams get deleted. This is the set for Counter Monkey. A whole lot of like a giant waste of money. He's sitting at a solid oak wood table, like a sort of medieval table that you would find in an actual castle, but you would never be able to tell because everything is covered up. He similarly a solid chair. He got 2 chairs because I guess it was part of a set. Just an example of the amount of money that he would waste on this when people were like, well, what's happening to the movie? Which is why, comments were turned off because he was tired of hearing about it.
Yeah, let's get real. That's the fucking reason he's turned off comments. The only reason is because everyone was about the movie now. Because he set that goal. Like, it's just that fucking goal, man. If he did not set that stretch goal, I wonder how this would have been all different. Because that's what really turned him into what he is now. Because everyone had something to say to Spoony now. And it was, hey, where's the movie? Hey, where's the movie? Hey, where's the movie? That's all they need to say to get, and Spoony has no defense for that other than, I'm depressed or whatever. But, just that was the turn, man.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, that was the fucking turn. God.
Yeah, and you see all this stuff. It's like, is all of this really necessary? Like, you didn't make this $5,000 from Counter Monkey. You didn't make it from streaming. You made it from edited videos. And if you don't have to rewind, but during that announcement video, he's like, "Oh yeah, the reviews will continue." Of course, they didn't. They stopped.
Did not. Yep, they stopped too. That's the problem. It's like if he could keep up the review shit. And then it'd be like, yeah, I'm working on the movie, whatever. It'd be fine. But feck, man, he could just stop doing anything except for this Counter Monkey shit and wrestle and the stuff that takes no work.
He loses his temper again playing Alien Isolation.
Oh, that's
coining the
classic.
infamous term.
And I've turned this job from
Okay.
a hobby filmed on a webcam into a dream job that I can make a living off of. And the only reason I've made it this far is because of you.
Because of you.
Tell me how to play.
The generosity is unbelievable. I'm not worthy of it. I'm not worthy of it.
Now is not a good time to smartass me.
Oh, yeah, I like this.
And so I try my hardest every day to make the show the best it can possibly be to live up to that generosity.
Hey, Kronos, you made an IT crowd joke. About 10 years after that show has been taken off the air. That's great.
Uh-oh.
I got that. I got that joke.
So I just wanted to let you know that I still remember where I come from, and entertaining you guys and making you laugh is the reason that I love what I do.
You should keep making that joke.
And your support is what keeps this show alive.
You should especially keep making that joke in instances where it has no applicability.
Ugh.
So I want to thank you for sticking around, and thank you for your generosity.
I'm perfectly chill. I'm especially relaxed ever since that awesome joke from the IT crowd that everyone stopped watching over a decade ago. Memories!
So this got memed on. This is a hilarious shirt. And
I want that. I want that.
Yeah, I know, right? I want to wear that to a convention. And
Yeah.
get a
hype.
picture of it with Reb Brown or someone.
Yeah, that's very hype.
Spoony starts listing various health issues for why the movie isn't getting made, including sleep apnea, a weak heart, and bipolar.
Yeah.
If you're not aware,
ahead.
taking bipolar meds with alcohol is a very bad combination and can cause not only mental problems, but also fuck up your esophagus and your ability to talk and stream.
Yeah. And I want to be clear about this too. This is where the general consensus of, in my experience, where it turned quick. And at this point, I'm not sure we're there yet, but it's coming fast now. After that Patreon shit and he didn't do anything for the movie, the internet kind of turned at this point. It's like, all right, Spoony, it's kind of like, it's time, right? What are we doing? And it kept snowballing out of control at that, but it happened fast, the turn. And I know we're already past it now because Patreon has already kind of started, but it happens fast when his downfall started happening.
Yep, and 2016 hits like a freight train.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the year that Donald Trump got elected and when Twitter was set on fire.
And that is where you get just insanity. DSP.
Yeah. Spoony spends most of his time. Yeah, it's a good comparison.
Yes.
Spoony spends most of his time on Twitter getting into political arguments, emulating Movie Bob, just like Andrew Dobson did. Basically, just feeling like being political on Twitter is like a replacement for your content. Very odd. It's there's the image of his Patreon goal. He's at this point 849. So the income just plummeted, as it should.
And that was real quick timeline. So he opened up the Patreon in 2000 and what year was that exactly? The Patreon came up in 2005, 15, I mean. No, sorry, 2014. 2014. So in 2 years it took to get to that. So I mean, that shows that no one's getting what they expected. No one's getting what they expected, and people are saying fuck it. I mean, you see more than half the people said fuck it.
Yeah, you can see here reviews will continue during this time. Of course, his last review, his 2016 is the last year that Spoony uploaded an edited video to his channel. You can go to his channel now, and there's no edited videos; they're all live streams. And you can see the example here, like a $10 million goal with the Dr. Insano space laser. So an indication that it was a joke all along. But I mean, how hard is it? It's not even, you can see here in detail, it wasn't to make a movie. It was to begin pre-production, which is relatively not that hard. But he just could not get over that hurdle.
It's such a small hurdle looking back, it's such a small thing. Just make a script, but he could not do that. He wanted it to be good, I guess. And he wanted to if it's going to be a Spoony movie, he wanted it to be good. That's what I imagine, my headcanon at least. He wanted it to be so good that he was kind of scared to do it. And the fear of not being good is scared him into moving, scared him into action. And I know he has all that medical issues as well, but that's what I think.
Like the crippling insecurity of high expectations, I think is a good way to put it. Here's our buddy Guru Larry, a friend of the site.
Yeah.
But he is very prophetic. He knows exactly what's going on, and he calls it immediately. I'm sorry, but continuing to pay him for doing nothing in case he turns around will never, ever work. It's like hoping your 500-pound shut-in son will lose weight and get a life if you keep feeding him enough McDonald's. You people are just enabling Noah to continue this destructive lifestyle, and he will never change unless something drastic happens, such as withdrawing all your donations. Called tough love, but letting him continue to act this way will only make things worse. You are literally doing more damage than any troll could ever hope to achieve.
Damn, Larry Bundy, former guest.
Could not
on
be
that
more
being
right.
said. Nailing that one. Hello, you. Nailed it.
Oh boy, these are examples of the sorts of shenanigans he got into on Twitter, wishing dick cancer on people just because he doesn't agree with their political positions.
Yeah, he wasn't even in this realm of like, you can keep showing, but he's not even in the realm of like just saying like, hey, your opinion is bad and here's why, here's my idea. It's like you need to fucking die, and that's what he did on Twitter. Is you deserve death.
I mean, again, like people like Movie Bob really popularized that. Just completely obliterating the line between video game related content and being just an absolute political spurg 24/7. Just like tweeting at Sheriff Clark, who is an actual sheriff and could probably beat up Noah with both hands tied behind his back.
Yeah.
And he gets stuff like this: "The time and place, brother. I'll kick your nasty ass so hard you'll piss bone shards."
Like we've seen Noah many times on the show so far tonight. Like he's not known for his build, right? And this is a legit sheriff that seems tough enough on the outside.
Right.
Like, come on,
you can
man.
run. You can just run, and he'll run after you and pass out because his heart rate will go above 130 beats per minute.
Yeah, like at least just why? What's the tough guy act? I mean, come on, it's just weird.
It's those Twitter balls.
Yeah.
This is Twitter, of course, so you read bottom up.
Yes.
Trump talking about, a journalist that he doesn't like, and Noah reporting the tweet as targeted harassment and claiming that the person is going to get herself killed if Trump keeps talking negatively about them. It's like, really?
Come on, man.
Pretty.
Like, this is the same kind of people that, some people like report DSP for everything, but it's like, all right, that's not really breaking terms of service, but you do you. It's like, come on, man. Let's just be chill. What is this? This blatant target harassment reported? Come on. Oh, God.
Yeah. From a Democrat who doesn't want to vote for Hillary, being like, well, sorry, we still don't want to. And Noah's just like, fuck your conscience, which obviously is going to make people be on your side. You're right. Fuck my conscience. Like, I'm going to vote against my conscience and against my better judgment because you said fuck you. Good job.
Look at the retweet. That's movie Bob, right?
Chapman.
Nice.
Almost missed that. But yeah, him, Andrew Dobson, they just loved getting into this shit and doing nothing else. We're in 2017. 80,000 tweets in. Spoony's Twitter continues to be a disaster. It wasn't just the political stuff. It was video game related things as well, like claiming Dark Souls has no plot, which is so wrong. I mean, it has a plot. It has a very in-depth plot. It just doesn't get in your way, which is what makes the game so easy to play and pick up.
Yeah, this is just in terms of my storyline. Not that anyone cares, but for me, 2015-ish was when the Patreon started, and I was kind of out. And obviously, you have to be out because what can you watch? There's nothing to watch. Like, maybe I would still be a fan to this point if he was putting videos out that I liked. But he was, at this point, it's just done. And whenever I checked in on Spoony, it was just, let's see the insane shit that Spoony said today. And that's all it was. And this is when, like, parody shit started coming out. Like, I think there's a parody Twitter and stuff came out. I'm not sure about the year, but...
Oh, yeah.
That was funny. That was awesome. I mean, it was just all making fun of Spoony. It was all funny.
The Spoony parody account is one I don't go into a whole lot of detail, but the amount of people that he fools with that parody account is pretty wild. Friends alike, even Linkara himself.
Yep.
Like, oh, wait, that's a parody account. Just typical Twitter shenanigans. What's wrong with snowflakes? They can bury you. It's like,
dude,
this is pretty infamous. As someone who suffers from a lot of medical illnesses, he's all in for, universal socialized healthcare.
Yeah.
He wants everything paid for him. He says, let this be an important lesson. Your health insurance doesn't give a piss whether or not I KYS or how many people I take down with me. And next year it's only going to get worse, a lot worse. This is 2016, so obviously Spoony no longer is with us since his medical ailments. No, wait, he's still with us.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Oh, wait, this is 2017. Okay,
2017, yeah.
Just an example of his. Oh yeah, we're in 2017 now. No jokes, no sarcasm, no funny little meme pictures. My country just voted to kill me.
There we go.
Very histrionic. It's so ridiculous. It's the year 2023. And in 2017, Noah is like, I'm gonna die, you guys. Punch his own head. You did a good job, Trump tells reporters, pointing to the kids. I wouldn't say you did very well here, pointing to himself. And Noah says, all right, real talk. How is it possible nobody has fucking decked this asshole? I don't know, probably.
It's just wasting time,
probably Secret Service.
Yeah, Secret Service is a good part in that. Just wasting your time, man. This is just wasting time. It's just so much wasted time right now about bullshit on Twitter. Come on, man.
Just punching air.
Yes. This is punching air, yeah.
Oh my God. Peak fedora tipping atheist. Like, you can have your disagreements with Ben Shapiro, but to respond to someone lamenting religious sentiment by being like the ultimate atheist statement, if the God you follow is one who brought you to this end, of what use is God? I'm sure
What
no.
is this? Like, dude.
Like you're an RPG villain.
Yeah, that's exactly. I was thinking anime style boss. Like Ben Shapiro, please, if you disagree with Ben Shapiro, that's great. But fuck, man, come on, it's not a movie.
Yeah, I'm sure no religious person has ever heard the argument, if God exists, why bad thing happen? Like they're gonna grab their head and be like, oh my God, I never thought of that. Brilliant, enlightened atheist that's crashed my entire worldview.
Oh, God.
Oh my God.
Don't pray,
I shouldn't
don't
talk
you
anymore about
dare.
this stuff. Just whatever happens, if you ever cared about me, don't pray. Don't you dare. Anyway, I should live stream if I cannot have a panic attack.
Like this pity side of pity with your epic tweets. Now you get pitied as well.
God, just so histrionic, so melodramatic.
Nearly went to pieces on my live stream. I don't think I can do this anymore.
Have you ever felt like that? I don't know.
I never went to
haven't.
pieces. I never went to pieces. No, not yet. Gotten close, but no, just kidding. Never. But I don't even know what that means. I mean, now we're gone. Now we're officially. Trump is the thing. I think we were almost there, and then when Trump got elected, it was it's over. Like there's no coming back for Noah at that point. I think it was kind of. It didn't seem like it, at least.
Yeah, I mean, this is something I've said to you, that it's very important and very awesome to have people in your personal life that you can go to and talk about your personal problems. You should not, under any circumstances, treat your online internet audience as your own personal snot rag.
Yeah.
Just go into them complaining about your personal problems like someone else we know does.
Yeah.
It's like you want to have people in your personal life you can bring this stuff to. You should not air this out on Twitter of all places, like a shitting hippo, just spraying it all just everywhere.
Yep.
Speaking of rage, I really must summon up the courage to live stream tonight. God, I'm so burned out from dealing with my own life. Again,
Yeah.
he would give both testicles to go back to this time in his life today.
Absolutely, and this is just pity farming. He was very well known for pity farming as well here.
Yeah, and he still has his girlfriend, he still has his house, he can still pay his bills. Like, what?
Yeah, this is the best. Like, it's still going fine. Really, you know. I mean,
He still
from
has
the
his
outside,
dog.
from the outside, it still seems fine. In the household of Spoony One. Obviously, we don't know what's going on mentally, but it seemed okay. But fuck, man.
Yeah, well, he doesn't have a cat son to confide in. He has his dog. But yeah, like imagine how April feels at this point. Like, your significant other is on Twitter just lamenting about how unhappy he is. You have to ask yourself, like, don't I make you happy? Like,
dude, and she was like, she would go to like defend him on Twitter too, because she still has to, because people would attack you, go to her too and say shit, and she would respond. I remember looking at that. But it's got to be very tough when your person you choose to be with is choosing to waste their time and not put out the thing that they're supposed to do that gives you money in the family, you know?
Yeah. And you can say the same about Wings. You can say the same thing about DSP. Like, they go on the internet talking about how depressed they are. It's like, how do you think that makes their spouse feel? It's like, are you really depressed when you're with me? Like,
yeah, you know, it's not a healthy thing. And to see your significant other, just how much nonsense they're spitting on Twitter. I mean, hey, funny, good Black Doom, good tie up. They were both sending time in Tamriel. You're right. Cat and April. Nice.
yeah, a lot of eerie similarities.
That's weird.
You might think I'm angry or even hurt by what you say. Please, ain't nothing you can say to me stacks up to the shit I tell myself every hour of every goddamn day. Like, this is when people were calling him emo jit, because, you know, this is peak, like, emo RPG protagonist dialogue. You've never known real fear. I hope you never do. It's like, imagine someone who's in the military or who's been in prison reading this, being like, come on, you fucking nerd. What I do hope you manage to find is some fucking sympathy. The reply is, you assume much, child. But what I do isn't blaming it on people and then wasting it away when I had so much. When my meds didn't work, I tried helping people and working hard, like when I donated to you for nearly a fucking year and got a big middle finger. I try bettering myself. And Spoonie's response, really? It doesn't show.
Oh,
In other words, like the person hasn't bettered himself because he's insulting him on Twitter. Like, oh, how dare he?
Sorry, refresh the video. Make sure you're in the right spot. But
oh, okay.
Yeah, make sure we're in the right spot. Wasn't showing up. But yeah, this is just he is lost at this point, and I think a lot of people thought that and knew it. And that's why this is when the fucking Kiwi Farms goes crazy. Now the Kiwi Farms know they got one now. We got another lol cow now, and that's what it really it's over.
Yeah.
There we are.
The infamous one, like Sekiro is just. I wanted to include this one. Sekiro is just the worst fucking game I've had playing a game in a very long time. So neither him nor DSP are very good at FromSoft games. I would say that DSP is better at FromSoft games just for the very fact that he was basically forced himself to play them. But neither of them are very good at that difficult sort of game genre. In 2017, Mr. Medicare releases his video on Spoony, which is how I found out about DSP.
Okay.
Supposedly leading Noah to have a sustained 8-hour-long panic attack because the timing just lines up with it.
Yes.
This is April defending Spoony on Twitter. This is a very funny one. I'm going to go ahead and read the whole thing.
Please, yeah.
So fucking sick of crazy, unfounded, and evil rumors about Noah and me. No, he doesn't hit me. Sorry. If you have to tell people, oh, by the way, he doesn't hit me, what are people going to be like? Oh, okay, that's cool. No, they're going to look at each other with like their eyebrows raised and be like, huh. Why are you telling us this?
Yeah. That's probably Redditors being stupid, saying like he probably hit you or something like that. She's just responding to something she doesn't have to. But yeah, go ahead.
For Christ's sakes, are you mad? He's got the arms of an 8-year-old with rickets. He couldn't hit a blow-up doll and make it hurt. Like that's how you squash those rumors. No, he doesn't hit me. He can't hit me anyone.
Yeah, that's kind of not a great. He doesn't hit me. He's too weak.
Funny.
He's too weak. That's right. Okay.
Appreciate it. Not to mention, he's not an evil asshole, and I'd leave anyone who ever dared to hit me. Well, I mean, she did later leave him. So,
yes.
Okay. So... no, he doesn't have a drinking problem. He doesn't drink. I drink more than he does, and I barely touch this stuff myself. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. We've seen reviews of him reviewing movies just completely sloshed and hammered, and the people on the call, like Linkara and Jiwario, being like, "Are you okay, buddy?"
Yep.
No, he doesn't have a pill problem, unless you consider taking your psychiatric meds as the doctor has prescribed them as a problem. Well, if you drink with them, that is a problem, because that's very ill-advised.
Mm-hmm.
There'd only be a problem if he didn't take them. He's not cheating on me. I'm not cheating on him. Neither of us ever leaves the house, like ever. How would we even sneak out to cheat? I don't know. There's a thing called the internet. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Yeah.
I can't even drive. What the actual fuck, people? And here's the really funny part. And finally, no, he didn't use Patreon money to buy our house. He used a home loan, from a fucking bank, like everyone else on Earth.
Oh, God. Now we've descended into Liana-style defense. Yeah, that's not like you don't buy it straight up, Yeah.
I got it from the bank. The bank gave us the money. It's like, really? You don't think walking in there, showing receipts from your $5,000 a month Patreon is how you got that bank loan?
They just passed those out, yeah.
The down payment came from his goddamn retirement fund. Well, where do you think that came from?
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you think he made so much money on Patreon? Which at the time we bought the house had only been up for a couple of months. Yeah, that's not smart.
Mm-hmm.
They had, sorry, there's a little bit of an overlay. Flush full of cash while cackling and twirling his mustache, again, mocking everyone who ever had a problem. I presume, Jesus, Herbert Christ, rumor mongers are fucking stupid. That's about all. You can read the rest if you like.
It just shows how
I'm almost as good as
she was
DSP.
responding to a lot of shit she didn't have to respond to. Just a bad lolcow procedure there is responding to every single accusation people have because it makes you look worse in the end. And you can see there it made her arguments were not great, is to put it lightly. So just a bad move by April there.
Another eerie similarity between him and DSP is that he's a good example of what not to do. If anything, you can learn from his failures and do the exact opposite. Another comparison to DSP.
I'm almost as good as DSP. Aw. That just breaks my heart that you'd say something that mean.
So he is familiar.
The DSP dig, did you come up with that yourself, or did you have the rest of your Reddit friends come up with that for you?
Damn. Ouch.
Nice.
My feelings.
Took you all 7 seconds, did it?
I don't know. How long did it take you to come up with? Oh, how long did it take you to come up with that?
It's
Clearly
funny 'cause
reading Reddit.
DSP is considered by some to be not a very good gamer.
Ooh, he's
Why do you have
looking
to bring
rough.
up DSP? I've got no problem with this. Just make them. Leave DSP alone.
Leave him alone, you guys.
DSP's just trying to make his way
He's just trying to scam people, okay? Just like I am. Leave him alone.
in the world, like all.
Game recognizes game, I guess.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh my god. Here's
we go.
this. Including rich review tech.
Yes.
Very rich move here. Hell. The begging ramps up. Let's see here. Forgot to mention, a clever Redditor buys ad space on Spoony's website trolling him.
You have the picture? What was it?
I did, but I don't think I included it in the
Oh, it's
video.
okay.
But it's like a GIF and an animated GIF where it's like having trouble fulfilling your Patreon pledges.
Nice. Nice. I don't remember that.
It's very funny. On the Obamacare repeal, rewinding a little bit. No jokes, no sarcasm. My country voted to kill me.
Yep.
Despite his country voting to kill him, Spoony has an uncharacteristically upbeat stream, which I showed there. Him happily taking his shirt off while streaming Doom.
That's the Doom.
The DSP
dig.
dig.
Stuff, yep.
Leave him alone. Here's where the begging ramps up here. Again, Twitter, so you read bottom up. I wish I knew what Brock did with all that money because as near as I can tell, he just wants to run around naked in the woods of Minnesota. I mean, I don't know. If you got to spare $200,000 or so to throw around Brock Lesnar, can you help a brother out? I'm broke. I'll wash your car.
Come on,
That goes for
dude.
any of you who happen to be secret millionaires. Really, I bet you got a lot of cars. I got a squeegee. Begging on Twitter. And
Begging
this
to
is,
the real dude, too. Like, adding him. Damn, dude.
right. You got any money you want to give me? This is just the meme I liked. Because Spoony just in one breath lamenting all the physical and mental problems that he has, and in another breath saying, "Oh, everyone is stupid, and I'm right, and you're wrong." It's like, okay, well, we're gonna consider the source on this one.
Yes, good point. Good point.
So yeah, I'm in a perpetual state of panic and inconsolable despair. I'm not a big fan of this world anymore. I can't even sleep anymore. I'm wishing we could just start the apocalypse now so I could stop feeling this way.
Yeah, this is when like suicide was like people like I don't know if this is like farming for asking for help in his way or whatever he thought was the best idea to ask for help. This is what he thought was the best idea or whatever. But this is when he really started saying the suicide hinting stuff, like as you saw there, like just like I need help me. I in his way, not directly saying it, of course, but saying all that bullshit like I just don't want to be here anymore and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a very scummy move. It's very malicious to use your platform as a way to make everyone who is ever a fan of you feel bad.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Like you want to be an entertainer. You want to make people happy. You don't want to make your problems everyone else's problems. That's such a bad habit and a bad way to go.
And that's all he does at this point on Twitter, in my memory, is that's basically all I saw was just this shit. All of it. Nothing happy.
It's to
anymore.
bring
It's gone.
everyone down with him.
Yeah.
Here's the question. Is this a sign that his depression is just overblown histrionics, or is this shift in attitude more of a cresting manic high moment resulting from his bipolar disorder?
So, I mean, who knows? Go ahead.
Like, if you want the old Spoony to come back, are you really asking that you want his bipolar mania? Do you want just the high points, the most photogenic aspect of a manic depressive disorder that he should be working to get rid of entirely?
Yeah, so I see what you're saying. So, like, yeah, do we want him to go back to his old self, which wasn't healthy then either, right? So, like,
yeah,
but in the end, I don't really care about if he put out a good video, people wouldn't give a shit about his personal, and if he stopped sharing everything, if he put out a funny video, people wouldn't give a fuck, But he couldn't do that; it was too much to ask,
But if he took his medication, he would even out, and you wouldn't have those moments where he's like yelling and screaming and all hyperactive.
But
because
I don't know
what you get, what you
okay.
get as the downside of that is the crash afterwards.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's an interesting question.
Like, would he would he be as awesome as he was when he was at his height if he did not have these mental disorders? And that's a question we'll never be able to answer. But yeah, there's something to that, I bet. If he did take his meds on time and as directed, maybe he could make any more funny videos. You never know.
I can't do this, and if I can't make videos like I used to, I'm not good for anything. I have no purpose. I can't get that back. Like, okay, it's like just make a video, man. I don't know what the big deal is.
This is when, it was just emo get now. It's just everything is to the max emo. Everything is like he's lost now, and everyone knows it. And he doesn't give a shit who thinks it. It's just I'm lost. I don't know what to do, and that's it. No hope of a movie anymore. Any hope of a movie or videos is basically gone at this point already.
And that's sort of what he's trying to signal. Like, I'm too sad to fulfill my obligations. Leave me alone. And if he had just said that he wants to retire from making content, I think people would have left him alone. But he didn't. He's just lamenting on Twitter over and over again for years on end that he wants to make content, but he can't.
Yep.
And people are telling him, like, here are ways to get help. Here's what you can do to better yourself. And he just sort of gets off on it and just sort of spits in their faces and tells them, no, you just don't understand. I'm the king of suffering.
Yep, that's all he would say, too. People that say, like, you're all right, Betty. Your videos really helped me back in the day. And he would always say that shit, like, whatever, man. Those are the past. And then he would never say, like, thanks for the help. He would never do that.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if they were just randoms or if they were people like Brad Jones or Linkara, like people who knew him in real life. He would treat them all the same. Like one year, Angry Joe invited him to Thanksgiving, and he's like, nah, no. It's like, well, what do you want then? Do you just want to be sad?
Yep, that might be it. Maybe if he doesn't have sadness, what does he have to talk about?
Let's see, bottom up. I've got to live stream something. I've just got to. It's like, you didn't make that $5,000 a month in Patreon from live streaming. You made it from edited videos.
Yes.
So I don't know what dragon he's trying to chase with that. Like, not to get too personal, but like, I know childhood molestation victims who have gotten over it better than Noah has. It's like he's crying like he's been raped. Like, it's so overblown.
And this is when he really went to if I live stream, I'm doing something. So he felt like that was like I'm doing something what people want. I'm gonna live stream and I'm giving content to the people. But no one was giving a shit about these live streams, man. Nobody. And everyone wanted a real edited video. But that wasn't even in the cards. It was, hey, I want to put should live stream today, you know?
Yeah, and they're very low effort. And for someone so talented, you would expect some effort being put into the streams, but the layouts were barely anything.
Yep.
Just you had the game on screen and you had face cam, and that's it.
Yep.
It's like, I thought you were talented. It's difficult to describe what I'm going through when it comes to live streaming. I want to perform to entertain more than anything, but I just can't do it. I can't take this shit no more, man. I'm no fun to be around, and trying to fake it just feels miserable.
Yep.
Well, I mean, you got to start somewhere. Right? Like, sometimes you just got to smile, and then the emotional backing of that comes later. I reach for that energy, and there's just nothing there, just tiredness. Oh boy.
Yep. And you see the people responding, 17 fucking responses. People worried about him and but it was just endless, man. It was like a broken record. Every week he'd be doing those tweets like that.
This is a good compilation. The fedora tipping atheist comes out again. My war on Christmas is a purely personal one. I also nearly destroyed an entire Dollar Tree store. Like, he talked about, like, actually trying to fist fight a Christmas tree. Because if you remember, his birthday is near Christmas. And that's always kind of rough. Your parents kind of combine the 2 days into one. So, like, you don't really get a Christmas. You just get it like a birthday that has a little bit more presence.
Yeah. It sucked. It would suck. It never had not a problem with me, but yeah, I understand how that would suck.
Well, as a January birthday haver, I can see a little bit of that. Not nearly this much. Someone who hates Christmas, by the way, looking very festive here.
There we go.
Spoony and April review The Last Jedi, calling everyone sexist for thinking Rey is a Mary Sue, which she is, solidifying Spoony's embrace of political correctness. He literally says, if you have a problem with that, so what? There are bigger problems. It's like, Okay. Well, people can still complain that the character is very flat and one note and doesn't really earn her superiority over the previous protagonist. But later on his position changes after April leaves him later on in 2020. There's a tweet. Say something nice about the sequel trilogy. No. Like, okay, I guess you didn't really like it after all. I guess you were just sort of parroting whatever your purple-haired girlfriend had said at the time.
Yeah. Good point there.
Spoony dies of sadness, of course. No, he's still alive despite his country voting to kill him. And but he does get banned off Twitter. This is the tweet that does get him banned. Whoever the motherfucker is who sent out that alert, find them and put their head on a goddamn spike. Joking, of course. That asshole almost wiped out the human fucking race just now. So, I mean, this is obviously, as he reported Donald Trump for allegedly doing, targeted harassment towards a political or a particular individual. Mm-hmm. And you're not really allowed to do that on Twitter. This certainly got reported and got him temporarily suspended.
And that you'd think, right? Should be amazing for him to be fucking off Twitter, but I know it wasn't.
Yeah, everyone should be like, thank God, maybe he'll finally be productive. But no, instead of it being exactly what he needed, he then starts tweeting from an account he created for his dog.
Yeah, this
using
dude
it as a
this dude, like, okay, I get you have an Instagram for your pets, and that's kind of a different thing than this. But having a Twitter for your pet, man, that means you have too much time. Especially when you're on the fucking clock from Patreon still. Well, there's not so many of them left, I know. But still, man, come on.
Yeah, he made a Twitter account for his dog, and once his main account was removed, he uses that as his backup sadness repository until his account eventually gets reinstated. Hooray. And this is what he tweets when he comes back. I have been sent back until my task is done, and I have come to you now at the turn of the tide. If you don't remember, that's Gandalf's tweet from being sent back after fighting the Balrog. So it just gives you an idea of his ego. It's like, oh, hooray.
Yeah,
our hero has returned.
Yeah, he think this is Gandalf coming back. You know, look to the west. Oh, there's fucking Gandalf back as the character he played in that fucking movie. I mean, he thought it was a big deal. Yeah, he was hype about this.
No, we were all missing his tweets.
Gandalf the Git. There you go. Nice.
His Patreon account is at this point has dropped under 600 a month. So we went from 5,000 to under 600. He says this is a good meme. Productivity, classic. Why would Donald Trump do this? Yep. As he shoots his own productivity.
Yep.
My time is up. I'm out of money. What is this? This is a Shaminar the Dragon, who is a complete fool, who sends Spoony a $100 Big Trouble in Little China board game to review.
Okay.
Spoony never reviews it. So you can see he sends him the board game, is very enthusiastic about being like, hey, review, get out of your funk, man. I gave you this board game. You can review it on your show, and it could be like your comeback video. And he repeatedly, over and over again, this is basically the Swaggins equivalent of Spoony. Just
oh god,
the guy who thinks he can fix him.
You'd think that's why April fucking left, spoilers, is because do you imagine her life dealing with all these fucking Spoony fans that just want your husband to do his job?
Hey, did you get my package? Check your email. Here's the tracking number. It says you got it. Let me know when you got it.
No one's living through that. No relationship can survive that. Come on.
Right. I do hope this board game kindles the fire of reviewing him, and we see a comeback of Spoony in the Black Hole board games, only this time he plays a good game. Yeah, because that's what it was all about, right?
That's sad.
It's about reviewing good games. No, it wasn't about, like, yelling at bad games.
Oh, see that one? In the meantime, here's some music. Oh, that's like setting a mixtape, you know? Like, it's a mixtape for you. Get your husband back in order. Get your back in action.
Spoony, please check your P.O. box. The package is waiting for you. It's from me. It's the board game.
Oh, God.
It's like, sure thing. Sorry I haven't been my usual self lately. I've been very ill for about a month now. More like years. I'm really excited to check out the game, though. As soon as I'm feeling better, I can have friends over to give it a try. It's like, what a lie. No problems. Always happy to help. Here's a theme song for Big Trouble in Little China.
Come on, man. God, this is very equivalent to a few different style individuals.
spent nearly the entire night sitting here trying to work up the energy to live stream something. I can't do it. Why not invite Brad over and play the game I sent you?
Dude, come on, Shaminar. You need help now.
Okay, and here's where Spoony finally gets fed up. I don't expect you to understand, and I never asked for your advice. If you're that fed up with me, fuck off someplace and leave me alone.
Shaminar didn't deserve that. Shaminar has
Sure.
issues, but he doesn't deserve that.
Yeah.
Come on, Shaminar. No, that's
Just a
fucked up.
microcosm of the way he treats people. And of course, Shaminar doesn't go away. He comes back.
Oh, of course. Got to come back to Daddy.
We're now in 2019. We're getting there.
Yeah, we're getting there.
We're trying. Right now, literally the only way I can see where I survive 2019 is to hope Canada grants me asylum or citizenship. I am not being melodramatic. Oh, okay.
I'm not being melodramatic. Yep.
Survey says.
Yeah.
Again, 2019. We're in the year 2023. Somehow he has managed to survive without Canada granting him asylum. Like how? Like.
Grant him asylum.
Canada, take me in. My country voted to kill me. Like you're from a war-torn African nation or something.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a good example of DSP's histrionics.
Oh yeah, this is great. Great.
His ability to socialize with other people has completely deteriorated, and here's a good example.
That's my turn.
All right. Next up, Eli DeLuca.
This is Lord Cat and about 2 or 3 other people playing an online D&D campaign with a very, very rudimentary online D&D gameplay thing.
Okay,
They
guys.
are a little bit of backstory. The DM announces that an army is approaching. They have on their crests and their shields the emblem of a bee.
Nice.
So, yeah. The bee army has attacked, and the other players are laughing about this. They're joking. They're like, the bees are coming to get us. And Spoony is watching this on the sidelines, and he's very upset by it, by their indifference to the bee warriors.
Are you saying they could punch the bee?
Right.
Yeah.
Get out of here. We're trying to punch these bees.
Yeah.
I'm kind of pissed off listening to this. Like, you guys are seriously busting on Jason's campaign right now, and that's not cool.
No. I fucking love it.
No, it's really not cool, especially since I seriously, like, I actually like the bee theme a lot. I should steal it.
But anyways,
like, no, it's shit like this that's kind of killing me right now because okay,
Yeah.
seriously, statistics. I actually looked this up.
Here we go.
The most deaths of humans caused by animals in the United States are caused by bees.
Are you serious?
People are allergic to bees. Why are we doing this?
Thank you. Good question.
Chris, I mean, Jesus Christ, they kill people.
Eli, are you gonna do something?
No, just pass my turn.
All right, Drew, you gonna do anything?
I'm going to hold my action for now, just because I'm waiting until they actually show themselves to be fully hostile against us.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. The guards are
They're
going to
showing themselves to be fully hostile against us, guys.
Well, the problem is I went out, but my turn comes after the guards have stolen.
Okay.
Bees would fucking kill your fat ass. Jesus Christ.
Jeez!
Unnecessary.
Insects, so, yeah.
They're slowly going to approach you guys tentatively, and they're going to shout out, "Who goes there?" And then that's pretty much going to be their turn. And John.
Okay, usual line of bullshit. We are adventurers, traveling out from the city of Wormwick. Just traveling through the lands. We don't like to walk along the roads, though, for fear of detection.
There we go.
Fear of protection.
Fear of
detection, he said.
I thought protection.
And there's also a distinct lack of respect for these guys, considering they have swords and you have thongs.
Oh god, dude.
Actually,
This is such a buzzkill.
I know, this is so not fun.
You mean no threat or...
We mean you no harm.
It's the opposite of fun.
Or, kingdom.
Oh dear, I would do a diplomacy check here.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
A diplomacy.
I would seriously do a diplomacy check there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't have that written up yet.
I'm not cutting out anything, just to get the full awkward experience.
Yeah, we need
Spoony's
it.
just see
It's not fairly. It's not like a one, but not amazing.
The guards, the look on the guards' faces is that of doubt and suspicion, and they are quite eager to take you into questioning. Dothan.
How's that?
I honestly don't
is
see
your turn
what's-
over, John?
I honestly don't see what's undignified about revering the bee. I'm serious.
Okay, we're playing a game.
Let him pause in here. Okay, we're playing a game.
Revering the
doing
bee.
here?
I want someone to ask that, please. Have you ever revered a bee?
Come on, what's wrong with you guys? Like, these people are trying to play a D&D game, and like someone's little brother is going in just like pestering them and being like, what the fuck, guys? You guys are saying bad stuff about the bees? It's like, dude.
Seriously, you guys aren't revering.
No, you're
the
not.
bees.
You're fucking laughing your asses off and being stupid chuckleheads.
Oh,
Why did you
God.
come in?
Yes.
To tell you guys, you're being really.
You came in the
disrespectful
call
to
just
Jason.
to shit on this.
Oh, like you're shitting on this
We're
game
just
any more than
joking
you
with
are, Chris.
Jason. Why do you have to come in and shit on this? Like we're lashing out at him. Jason was laughing.
That awkward moment when you realize you're not wanted. You weren't invited.
All right. Listen, we have an encounter here.
All right, I'm out.
All right, I'm out. And that is, I like in my head canon, he got in his car and ran a red light like
Yeah,
immediately after that. But
that's when that happened.
But I'm sure
yeah.
it wasn't that immediate.
No.
It's when he runs a red light and crashes into a car.
I had bronchitis for like seriously 6 months straight. And this was right around the same time I had the car accident where I broke some ribs.
Here's the actual car accident.
Yep.
Thanks to our lovely Freedom of Information Act, which gave us access to the body cam footage. Once Spoony found this out on Twitter, he was very incensed that people would go to such lengths to expose him as a complete and utter liar.
I remember this.
Are you injured at all?
I had the wind knocked out of me, but I think I'm okay.
Wait, pause it. That's the best.
You have your driver's license and insurance.
I love how you have to
gonna go
explain
to
that.
the hospital,
I just got the wind knocked out of me, but I think I'm okay. All right, sir. Thanks. Some people got really fucked
Okay.
up.
I only broke a couple ribs, but I'm fine. I'll just walk it off.
In the back seat of my car to stay warm, okay?
Okay, you got it.
You all right?
I think I'll be okay. Not until I calm down, you know?
Yeah. Are you sure you don't want to go to the hospital? You're breathing awfully heavy over there. Getting a little worried about you.
No, I'm just... Nothing's broken.
Nothing's broken.
It knocked the wind out of me.
Okay.
Knock the wind out of me.
Which,
That's it.
that was fun. It wasn't fun.
Why the fuck you lying?
People he hit had to go to the hospital. He was just fine.
Yeah.
But he claimed that he had broke some ribs, which is hard to believe.
Yeah. Also, real
But I'm
quick
sure-
before you go on, there's someone. I know you didn't show it there, but someone says what happened, and there's a lady there that says, "Yeah, he ran the red light. He ran the red light." And the cops say, "Yeah, they're saying you ran the red light." And then Spoonie's response is like, "Did you watch the footage yet?" You know.
You know, they're saying you did though. We got multiple witnesses, not just the drivers of the other car, but third-party people who are saying that you ran the
random
red.
person. Yeah, random person was there. Like, okay, here's what happened. He ran the red light. Yeah. So other people were there too.
At this point, this is not a scientifically accurate chart of his tweets, but it's like 25% I'm sad, 35% Hal Jordan got punched. Like, the thing about his bipolar is that if you're watching his Twitter, you can basically see like the ups and downs. Some people say that DSP has bipolar with just how quickly he's able to jump from like anger to just melodramatic, or just anger, not anger. But yeah, I'm sure Steve has a better idea of this. But bipolar usually takes about a couple days to crest up and down. It doesn't really happen that immediate. But you can see that on the Twitter exactly. Like his manic highs would just be him just posting this incredible amounts of tweets, either about wrestling or about like golden age Hal Jordan, like back then when Green Lantern's weakness was like wood. Ridiculous stuff like that. He would just mock it and make fun of it, like basically like Sean Baby. And that would be his replacement for, I guess, putting out any other content.
Yeah,
and that was like 35.
Real quick, was this the time when he starts doing all those comic book shit? Like he would post in comic books constantly. Is that what you're referring to with the Hal Jordan got punched thing?
Yeah. a world without Spider-Man, a thing like that.
That's what I was done. I stopped following when it's like everything is fucking comic books that are like, all right, I get it, but he was just going nuts on those fucking comics. Like, all right, how are you scanning all these? And like, it seems like a lot of fucking work he's putting into that Twitter, not just spouting off his shit, but like getting the pictures on there and putting some time into that.
Yeah, like he was trying to steal Linkara's audience away from him, or like be a supplement to Linkara's audience since he couldn't provide for his own. It's very weird. 15% Orange Man bad tweets, 10% tweets where it's like, hey, look, a dog. 10% wrestling tweets, 5% video game tweets. Just, this is my estimation of what his Twitter output was like. In 2020, Spoony's girlfriend leaves him. So this is a very good side to side. Again, he doesn't have a drinking problem, as you can see bottles on the table. but yeah, this is such a side by side. And you can see this on his channel. If you look at his list of videos, you see one with him sitting on the couch with April, and immediately after you see him just wallowing in misery. You can see what happened in between the two events.
Yep. Yeah, this is when he started getting ultra cringe, right? Like, Oreo's heartbroken to this day that I can't bring back the family we were. There's nothing I could do. This is, man, that's like my son Oreo. I can do. Yeah, my son Oreo, by the way, is what he's thinking. He never said that shit like DSP, but I mean, that sounds like a fucking. I think he treats it like a son.
Or daughter. I mean, it was
daughter,
a female
yes,
dog.
Yes. Oreo,
he dedicates his Twitter to spitefully making everyone around him as depressed as he is.
Yep. Oreo's dog, Reaper Piss. Sorry, Oreo was their dog that he shared with April, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I'm down to eating beans out of a can. I know this isn't quite rock bottom, but it's not far off.
Pity farming.
I guess depression makes it so you can't wash out a bowl. Like you can't put a bowl under the sink and put your beans in a bowl. No, depression makes you just eat it out of a can, like Rorschach from Watchmen.
Let's see how dramatic I can be. Please give me pity. A good point. Shogun Eagle says, didn't April have an Etsy store? And yes, she did, just like Panda Lee. Good shout there.
Yeah, she tried to supplement their income. She had a part-time job. She sold jewelry on Etsy, but nothing she could do. You can see a nice little Photoshop here. DSP, the king of Twitter. His can of beans, which were probably bought with COVID stimulus money at the time. And so they're basically Trump beans. And you can see April back there with darts.
Oh, I go forward a little bit. We can't see it right now. There you go, right there. Yeah, we're on it now.
Okay.
yeah, we're on Trump beans eating. Yeah, nice.
Yeah. Before anyone accuses me of stealing content from Kiwi Farms, don't rule out the possibility that I'm the person who made this stuff in the first place. Just
don't rule that out.
Not saying it was, but
yes, a maid has to explain to the Avatar why it's good to eat food. The Avatar is too stupid to eat.
That line became it was a good throwback. This is basically Spoony in a nutshell. I'm sad. Here's the solution. I don't want a solution. I want to be sad.
That sums it up. That's what Twitter was for a long time, right there. That's what it was.
He keeps this act up for several years. He seems to take just sick pleasure in baiting people into telling him exactly how to get the help he needs, just so he can smugly and condescendingly tell them no, and that he's too smart for it.
Oh, that's a good one. I see. I have no job, but I must live stream. That's a good deep cut right there. That's awesome.
All it does is squander any goodwill as possible that people had towards him.
Yes. I'm seeing the I have no job, but I must live stream, and I can't get over it. It's too good.
Some great fan art. At this point, the Twitter or the Kiwi Farms thread is very robust because of just what a spectacle he's become. A lot of detail here.
Yeah.
You can probably pause and zoom in. There's a lot of you can see Oreo up there. You can see various knickknacks up in the box. You can
Twitter
see Trump
birds
back there waving goodbye. You can see the words on the road. Jobs, rep, fame, career, friends, hope. Very well done. In his pocket, I think is like a Dremel, I believe.
Ah, okay.
Here's another good one. You took everything from me, and Trump is just oblivious to all of it, and there goes his house. Because why would he care? Who knows?
Yeah.
All these people just screaming and reeing at someone who just like, okay, like whatever. I'm so miserable and alone all the time. I can't even describe it. You think you've been isolated for a long time? This has been my life for about 2 years now, trapped here. It's like anyone who's spent any sort of time in jail would just scoff at this, being like, "You think I don't know isolation?"
Like, yeah, he has his own house, his own car. He could do whatever he wants still at this point. Obviously, we don't know his mental state, which obviously not great. But I mean, you can't be saying this, man. Come on.
He's blames April, says that she walked down on me the instant my credit cards were maxed.
That's fucked up, man.
Yeah, implying that she was just a gold digger and was only in it for the money. Whatever spark I had, whatever purpose I had is gone. Very, very good fan art. Let's see. Exactly 4 years after his last post on Patreon, Spoony gets evicted. But thanks to COVID, he's allowed to stay for a little while with a moratorium on evictions.
Yeah.
So he just sort of languishes there, unable to afford his mortgage.
So he did not get the bankruptcy that DSP did get.
No, I don't think he even applied for bankruptcy. You're probably wondering why he didn't just sell his house and move into a smaller place that he could afford. The reason is that he was expecting April to move back in, and he felt like if he moved to a different place, she wouldn't have his new address. So he's just hung on to the house.
Do you have that tweet up? But you put it up. It's not showing it. Fast forward a little bit.
No, there isn't a tweet. It's just art.
Yeah.
Good stuff though.
That's insane. That's insane. I mean, there you go. You don't think moving out of the house you shared with her could help in the slightest? Not really. I guess there's been a forlorn hope in me that maybe she would try to work things out. Moving out of the house puts an end to that. That's pretty sad, man. That is pretty sad at 102. That's insane. That is insane. That shows someone that's mentally unwell. Obviously, we all know that, but that's tough.
The end of everything. Here's a good bit of art. Good Chad versus Virgin meme. Don't need to go through all of them.
Yes.
If you want to watch it later, you can pause. Despite Linkara, Brad Jones, Angry Joe, and even Lord British himself, Richard Garriott, all offering help and support, Spoony tweets, "I have no friends." Like, imagine being his friend, and he's tweeting, "I have no friends." It's like, well, fuck, man. Like, fuck you.
Yep.
Spoony tries streaming Death Stranding, his final live stream to this day, but his PC can barely handle it. His brain can also barely handle it.
What was I doing?
This is 2020, right?
Yep.
Overreaction to ass, similar to someone we know.
Yeah, it's the most unsexual, tame depiction of nudity you could ever imagine. Like, it's off the screen. It's not even on the screen anymore. Yeah, it is a very good game, but of course he rage quits it. Like, it's one of those games that presents a lot of questions at the beginning, but at the end answers all of them. It's very impressive.
Okay, it's like, this is Hideo Kojima. This is his Zardoz.
That's great. I got that.
I wanted that throwback.
I got that joke.
Nice throwback.
It's a reference. Oh my god, here's Mars Girl.
Mars Girl. Shout outs to Mars Girl.
Terrible. Like, I have never seen anyone with less charisma than Mars Girl. This is her being told.
Yeah,
she's playing Hyperdimension Neptunia.
Real quick, Mars Girl was someone that was in the contest of that guy with the glasses to be that girl with the glasses, and she was not the winner, but one of the top 3, so she got on the site anyway. And yeah, that's Mars Girl.
Yeah, the runner-up that her consolation prize was to also be on the site. Part of the group of people who got Vic Mignogna fired.
Oh, boob jiggle.
Gotta catch 'em all.
It's Pokemon.
I can't think. Just dull as dishwater. Dishwater might as well be a margarita compared to.
If you want to see like a great look at what videos were like back in the day, watch one of her runs when he first got on the site. Though, like, there's such a portal in time. I actually watched one recently just like get a feel for it, and like there's such a time portal back to the internet that age where like those reviewers were like, they were like the hot fucking thing, and she was one of them. I never liked her shit, but she was definitely one of them, and she was big back then.
God, I never saw the appeal.
Yeah, Mars Girl was not.
I even
was
liked
the best.
I liked Lupa. I like her content, like making like movie reviews of like shitty B movies, like The Bird or Birdemic. That was a good one.
Yeah. Lupa was all right. Nostalgia Chick was good when she first started. I used to like her shit back in the day when she first started, and then she kind of changed into be like more political, not political, social. How can I say this? Social issue style content, and then it was done. But when she first started, I thought she was all right.
Yeah, I couldn't watch Nostalgia Chick, mostly because she put out videos like once every 3 months. Like,
yeah,
I thought you were supposed to be like the Nostalgia Critic, but reviewed like female style movies. But no, she would rather do these long form exposés that were very serious and academic.
Yeah,
and it was just tonally inconsistent.
I'm trying to think of she is by far, not to get too derailed, she's by far the most popular one because before she kind of last year or whatever kind of stopped, but she was definitely the biggest one there was from that fucking whole site, right? You'd think.
Yeah, more the breakout person who more went legitimate.
That's the word.
But Mars Girl's being told, "Did you see Spoony lost his house finally?" And this is Mars Girl's totally charismatic response.
I had not seen that, Monty.
I'm not letting you go until you spill everything you've got.
Thanks, Mars Girl.
Another. One pause.
Take it off, Spoony. Yes.
Okay. All right. We're gonna take a short break from the Spoony content to talk about the equivalent of Derek to Spoony. A lady who we call Warthog, a real name. Again, this isn't a dox. She used her real name on her Twitter profile, real name Rachel Baker. Here's a little bit of pretense. When a locale wanes in influence, the spotlight is often taken up by their most outrageous fan, like, let's say, Derek.
Yeah.
In Spoony's case, this is a sycophantic admirer that we refer to as Warthog. They met at a convention in 2011. We're going to have a picture of them, too. The two of them together. He's going to play. There's Spoony with Warthog.
Okay.
Here's another picture of Spoony with Warthog. Here's a third picture of Spoony with Warthog. Sorry.
Easy.
It's a bit of a joke. Okay. This is her shrine dedicated to Spoony, as you can see. You got pictures. You can see the picture of them together on the wall. Along with the wrestler, like it's very bizarre.
Okay.
It gets even weirder.
Right.
Yeah. On slow news days, Warthog's antics serve as a substitute topic of discussion because at this point, Spoony isn't really doing a whole lot. But this is the thing. Like I talked about this with Meerkat. Is that it's very, very important if you're going to be a content creator and put yourself out there. It's very important that you put out content that you yourself would want to watch, because what that does naturally is it brings in like-minded people like you.
Yeah.
Hold on, I gotta cough.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Like if you're going to put out like video and game reviews, you're going to attract people who are interested in video games and movies and stuff. But if you dedicate yourself to crying about your mental illnesses and about all the problems that you have, you're going to attract people who do nothing but cry about their mental illnesses and their problems all the time.
Yeah.
And Warthog is definitely one of those people, treating Twitter like her own personal therapist. And this is what Twitter kind of is, and why I don't really like Twitter, is that it's basically a giant insane asylum, but none of the doors are labeled.
Okay, I'm down.
So here's some Twitter interactions, some of the few interactions between them. That one time I met Spoony at Con Brovo last year, pretty fucking embarrassing to admit, and Spoony reacts to it. The meme is from the first. Oh god, this is gonna nauseate me. Next time, cough on the mic. Okay. From the first time I saw you, I knew I was going to have real and/or imaginary sex with you. Oh, gross. How the imaginary stuff goes, Spoony replies. Again, not the parody account, the real actual account.
Wait, can you get the video? We can't see it. Can you go forward a little bit? We're
Oh, sure.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we're on it. Go ahead. Yeah. Oh God, how'd the imaginary stuff go?
You sure you want to know? And he replies, pics or it didn't happen. And hashtag seriously no pics. No pics involved. However, the imaginary stuff involved me dressed up as a doctor in a miniskirt.
Oh.
So Spoony is very down bad to the point that he's willing to flirt with people. A little bit of examples of the level of intelligence that our friend Rachel is at. Quote tweeting a tweet in 4 words. What advice would you give to your 18-year-old self? She, of course, replies in much more than 4 words. I guess she can't count. She's extraordinarily gullible. Just a little bit. She's extraordinarily gullible. Believing whenever a WWE wrestler, John Cena, follows her on Twitter, she's earned the attention of the actual wrestler and not their social media manager. She gets followed back by John Cena's Twitter account. She's like, John Cena finally noticed me. Pretty crazy. Despite being Canadian, Warthog engages in Twitter fights over American politics, following in the footsteps of her celebrity crush. She also uses her arthritis as an excuse to not do anything productive, much like Spoony and his illnesses. She dreams of being a wrestler, despite constantly injuring herself, falling out of bed, in the shower, falling downstairs, etc. Seriously, she tweets about falling down and hurting herself many times.
Oh, you make sure you refresh. We got Noah Antwiler right there. It is. I don't hug, never have. That's on the screen now.
Fair enough. I'm a pretty affectionate person, so I do hugs, but this is a chain of conversation.
Okay.
A pretty affectionate person, so I do hugs, but not if someone doesn't like them. Thanks for telling me.
Oh, thanks for telling me.
I'm probably going to get snapped at for this, but my DMs are open if and when you are ready to talk. You'd surprised at how all too familiar I am with trauma, pain, and grief, seeing that was pretty much my whole existence from childhood to now. Stay strong, always keep fighting. And Spoony replies, again, this is not the parody account like you would think it would be. I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to April. And she's blocked all means I have of contacting her, so that will never happen again.
That's just an asshole, man. I mean, nothing else to say. That's just a fucking asshole, dude.
I don't want to talk to you. God, okay.
Like, yeah, out lamenting each
I mean,
other.
she knows, though. She says already, like, I'm going to get snapped at for saying this, so she got exactly what she expected.
Yeah, she wanted, I guess.
Slept way too much because of my bloody migraine, and also because my hip decided to torment me some more, even after taking pain pills and putting pain cream on it. So in other words, I can't sleep at all. Might as well wait for the Spoony One to begin Livewire. Like, she tags Spoony in her tweets so many times just for his attention.
Oh, man.
And he says, I'm trying, but as usual, I'm going to pieces over April like I do every night.
This is bad, man. I didn't know about this shit, man. This is pretty rough. Noah, that's how low Noah is right now. He's this clearly a person that also has problems. Talking to him, he doesn't even give her credit. He'll shit on her though on the way down. Right. Come on,
I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah,
do you have April's number? No, sorry.
God.
Fun fact: her brother was on an episode of Canadian Intervention for meth.
Very high.
So a minor celebrity. My best friend, and that's who she's talking about. Never gave up, biggest inspirations. Spoony deserves to have someone in his corner just like this person was in mine. And he's saying, I'm trying hard not to be rude, but I don't need a cheering section. What I need is gone, and it's never coming back, and that's my own fault. I have to suffer with that.
This dude, man, that fuck you, man. Fuck you.
I know, right?
This is fuck you, man. Even your staunchest fans have to say fuck you at this point, dude. Come on. I don't need a cheering section. Then why are you on Twitter crying about all your problems then?
Yeah, I can only assume the people who are rooting for Spoony's comeback just don't know about his Twitter activity, because this is pretty reprehensible.
Yeah, come on.
He has a lot to apologize for and a lot to answer for if he ever wants any sort of redemption arc. But she quote tweets him just for maximum attention, I guess. My reaction to this last night was like getting punched in the face. It's not the first time I got this kind of response from someone, and it's not going to be the last. I'm a glutton for punishment, mental or otherwise.
Oh my God! It comes to the
You're a
territory of being
glutton
abuse survival. Oh, come on.
You're a glutton for physical punishment? What? I doubt it. Then why are you complaining so much about your arthritis? Wouldn't you be like,
let's get real.
the
Like
pain-
this is Spoony without. I mean, I don't. Maybe she could make videos. Who fucking knows? But this is Spoony without talent. She's not doing anything that different than him. She's doing the same
Right.
thing as him.
just mirroring him, following his example by using
Yeah.
Twitter as like your repository for your anguish, like your unrequited id, which is I'm sure Steve knows a little bit more about. It's not a word I'm that familiar with, but id, not id Software, the developers
Yeah.
of Doom, but the id, the basically the just the impulse, the unfiltered impulse, which is
Yeah.
what too many people use Twitter for. Yeah, I'm a very forgiving person, but I wasn't always like this. Truth be told, if this happened 13 years ago, I would have gotten very angry with Spoony, seeing as I had a shorter temper back then than I do now, and rip him a new one painfully. So this is so passive aggressive.
Yeah, okay. And adding him to like, make sure you see this.
Right. I'm a good person now. If I wasn't such a good person, I would rip into you and insult you and be really mad. But I'm so much more mature and better than I was back then. It's like, okay.
God.
Speaking of Derek, she writes in the same repetitively obnoxious way where everything has to be over-explained.
Okay.
Warthog gets into a Twitter relationship with a blind gamer who follows Super Blind Man. So small world. So yeah, is in Super Blind Man's corner. He's also a diaper fetishist. Go figure.
Speaking of any sister content here, let's move on. No
So
Jenna
much
content
overlap.
today. No Jenna content today.
I already got scolded by my mom when I told her that I want to become a professional wrestler and take a health and fitness foundation college program. She told me that I'm too old and I won't be able to do the health and fitness program. Nice, huh? That's like, I don't know.
I don't know.
Kind of laying it on you, just being real with you. Okay, here's all right, can you see this one?
Yes,
Okay.
Giver of Joy.
Oh boy, giver of joy. Warthog incessantly tweets at two people, Spoony and a proto-locale called Depression Muse. If you don't know what this is, Depression Muse tweets nonstop about, well, her depression. I only mention her because she posted one of the most hilarious tweets I've ever seen. If you're seeing it right now.
Yeah, failed attempt.
This is a failed sewer slide attempt that you're watching.
Come on.
Maybe I just have a very dark sense of humor but this is just unendingly hilarious. Imagine taping a bag over your head to try and suffocate yourself. You back out by ripping the bag, and your first thought is to post a selfie and tweet about it. It's almost like a parody.
Yeah, this is.
It's like a suicide attempt directed by Jussie Smollett. Like this is the kind of people that Spoony has attracted at this point with all his sad posting.
And how could you not? That's all he talks about too. So you get it. You see why. Giver of joy, depression muse. I love that.
So much joy. Look, this is how sad I am. I put a bag over my head, but I couldn't do it. Like even her facial expression just is like, really? Are you kidding me? Okay, back to Spoony.
Yes, move on.
Sorry for
joy.
our sidetrack here. I just wanted to build up to that tweet, which I think is absolutely hilarious. Spoony is about $300 in his Patreon at this point. You can see that that's his graph as it goes down. Betrayal.
Yeah. Well, you know what? There's no one else's fault but him for that. So, I don't feel bad about the Patreon going down. That's what he needs, as Larry Bundy said many years earlier now.
Yeah, they followed his advice.
Yeah.
Here's the nice little comic drawn by someone. I don't know who. I had a nightmare. Somewhere someone said, on second thought, Spoony is not funny. Betrayal! My ego shouldn't have to endure this kind of abuse from haters. Nobody should. You can see he has his little noodle arms, and there's Oreo there in the corner. I'll show them. I'll show everyone. And he's got his Twitter. He retweets. Whoosh! And between wow, I'm so sad. There's an Orange Man bad tweet, and that activates the last remaining dopamine hit in his brain. Take that, you fuck. 2009 Mashable Award winner, bitch. I'm so funny. And that activates the neurons, and he has his little DSP moment as people thumbs up his Orange Man bad. Oh shit, I used too much of my power again, shutting down. And there's poor Oreo. Please feed me, as he passes out. And then he falls asleep and wakes up 3 days later.
And the cycle continues.
Here's a nice tweet. Trump tests positive for COVID, and Spoony is overjoyed as his belongings are being hauled away. So it's his only last remaining source of joy is tweeting at the Orange Man.
And in my head canon, those are bees around him. They're bees, not
yeah,
bees.
Bees. Here's Reb Brown.
Yeah.
Action. Hey, Spoony, this is Reb. Listen, I miss you. I miss hearing your comments and hearing you and looking at you. God bless you. Hope everything is okay. Hang in there, buddy. You take care, okay? And remember, I still remember February.
Oh, man. Man, that hits it, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's like the happy days, you know? Man, they were happy back then. It was happy. It was all fun, man. It was fun and games. What happened, you know?
His fans are trying so hard to bring him out of his funk, even going to his heroes and being like, hey, maybe if you hear it from him, maybe if he tells you to get better, you'll do it. But
damn.
Very much. 2021. Before we go into 2021, 2020, Trump loses re-election with the bane of Spoony's existence and the subject of literally thousands of angry tweets defeated. He is finally able to put his shattered life back together. Just kidding. Spoony continues to deteriorate almost as though Trump was never actually the problem. How weird.
Yeah, that's nothing improved.
So here's
this is good. I remember
rundown.
this. This is supposed to be from Kiwi Farms. I remember this shit.
Yes. Nobody guessed who made this. Couldn't possibly have been someone we know.
Nope.
2017, no reviews. 2018, no reviews. But you can see the tweets equal to over 10,000. 2019, 8,000. 2020, 4,000 tweets. And you can see the Patreon declining.
38 tweets a day. The max, 38 tweets a day. And I know there's some days that are much more than that, but 38 a day is intense, man. That's intense. 38.
Yeah,
Zero
you can even
reviews.
see. You can even see visually just them going downhill.
Look at that.
No.
Look at the live wires too. Like 25 live wires. That's going live twice a month, everybody. Twice a month.
Mm-hmm.
15, 10 live wires a whole year.
Yeah. I think Twitter got rid of the ability to see easily how many tweets someone has written. Last time I checked.
Yeah. I think it does. Yeah. I don't have it anymore.
Okay, here we go. Here's a good mini saga here. Spoony on Twitter says he's snowed in, can't get medication, and is suffering from withdrawal. I've not been around because I've been trapped in my house by snow for over a week. Deliveries cannot reach me. As a result, I've been off my meds for nearly a week. The withdrawal reflects from I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Are horrible. They are horrible. Do not send help. I repeat, do not send anyone to check on me. Do not send anyone to try and help me. Either this will kill me or it will not. No spoilers. So, what do you think happened?
Yeah.
What do you think should happen? Like, someone's going to do something. I might die. No one sent help. It's like, okay. If there's anyone left to care about him, they would have called in a wellness check. Not a swatting, by the way. There's a big difference between a swatting and a wellness check.
Yeah. Wellness check, they knock on your door to start the proceedings, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone disregarded my wishes and called the police.
There
are a few reasons why I asked you not to do this. One of them is that my gutters are blocked and massive icicles have formed directly over my front door and could fall at any time. You almost got 2 cops killed.
You cannot be serious. You cannot be serious.
Like they would have been impaled like Final Destination.
You cannot be serious with that, dude. Come on, Spoony.
Like what I wonder, one has to ask how the cops were in danger, but not like food or medicine delivery people.
You almost got 2 cops killed.
Final Destination. God, Silent Weapons, you're so good.
Final
the pun
destination.
master. Here's a photo of the massive wall of snow that is blocking
Holy
Spoony
shit.
inside of his house.
Where's the house? I can't even see it. Holy shit.
And you can actually see the icicles on the second floor on the roof. They are pretty formidable, but
he's talking about that single icicle that would have bullseyed the cops double time. double icicle right to the heart. You almost killed that dude.
you were almost responsible for double homicide.
Oh my god, dude. Come
But I mean, it's not that bad. You can clearly open the door and get out there. You might have trouble pulling a car out of the garage, but I mean,
well,
if you let the
you could always shovel. They exist in this world.
Oh well, he's got those noodle arms, so you can't even beat a woman with those arms. So how do you expect him to shovel? No, or you could just like turn a car on and let the car exhaust melt the snow. I don't know.
God.
Yeah, some pretty wild tweets about this. Here's another shot. How dare people use Google Maps to test if Spoony is lying or not? But I get it. You were trying to. He's very passive aggressive about it. But I get it. You were trying to help, and you have. Look how much better everything is now. I feel so much better. This is what I needed, to be menaced at midnight by armed men who are expecting a madman with a knife. I may never stop dancing. This is my sarcasm dance. And just to prove how much this whole experience has helped me, I don't think I'll ever open up to a single goddamn one of you ever again.
Amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, open up. Open up. Yeah. What? You're just gonna scream whatever you want on Twitter all the fucking day anyway.
No, don't threaten me with you being productive.
Yeah. Don't threaten me with you might die if you don't get this medication. Oh, we need more of that in our lives.
I told you, it's useless. I spent most Friday afternoon calling snow clearing services. Everyone's booked. Texas thinks it's frozen over. If I drop just the snow on my driveway on Houston, there would be no survivors. And here's a handy visual aid to let you know just how much snow that is. If you drop this on Houston, there would be no survivors.
There would be no survivors in Houston if this dropped. Come on.
Again,
man.
like, this is an example of him lying in a way that can be fact-checked, right?
Yeah.
Who knows how many times he lied in a way that can't be fact-checked?
Yep.
So it's very hard to believe him when he says a lot of what he's saying, because here's some fan art about what he thinks is what it's like. There's a pile of dead bodies.
Texas thinks it's frozen over. God.
I don't need any help. Leave. You are not welcome. Lovely sign. I don't know if you can see.
Yeah, we got it right there. Yep. Okay. Help. Leave. You're not well. We got it. Send food and.
Send food and Dremels. Because I think one of the parody accounts said that when April left, she took. Oh no, it was actually from Spoony himself. When April left, she took the Dremel with her.
Oh, okay.
So he doesn't have a Dremel. Oh, poor Spoony. This is what he thinks it looks like. This is what he imagines. Warthog reports the tweet. I reported the asshole who made the tweet and blocked him. Done my civil duty. I think you mean civic duty, but okay, you did your civil duty, Canadian. Whether this was a pic of the Spoony One's house or not, I still would have reported it regardless. Now back to my scheduled programming.
Making phone calls and relaxing. Hey.
Like, okay. We're going to go after Google Street View for posting pictures of people's houses publicly. The three Spurgs at Warthog, Spoony, and Lord Cat. Again, the fan art at this point is just, there's more activity than from Spoony himself.
Yep. I think people do that, right? There's not enough activity coming from the person that you follow. People take care of it themselves and make more shit themselves.
Right, because the audience is still there.
Yeah.
They still exist. They still want to be entertained, but they're going to get it one way or another. Great stuff. You got the Mexican hat. One but not forgotten. Our prices are so low, you wouldn't understand why.
Yeah. Don't wait for April. Deal with snow now. Snowman bad.
Snowman bad.
God.
The police.
I saw someone in the snow over there. there's a warthog in the snow. There's also a Final Fantasy character. I couldn't see exactly what it was.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's Snow. Actually,
Snow. There we go. Snow. Big up Snow.
Final Fantasy. 13. I believe.
Oh no, he yells at Snow. Yes. There it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Old Noah yells at Snow. Great fan art play. Jeez. Nice bit. Spoony alphabet.
Yes.
Observers have a difficult time imagining how Spoony is incapable of taking care of himself or even sit at a computer and stream a video game, but is still able to take care of a dog. This leads them to believe that Oreo is being neglected. I mean,
Okay.
which is pretty understandable, right?
Okay. I mean, that's one of the things. Keep going. Yeah, it's just you never know. You know, he does talk about that fucking dog all the fucking time. So I think he cared about the dog, in my opinion.
Yeah. I don't know. I think he just left the back door open and let Oreo out just whenever. That awkward moment aside, I learned so much from. This is Matthew from Botchamania.
Okay.
This is basically. I'd make notes and do the complete opposite of Spoony. So this is where the Twitter public is at this point.
Yeah.
They're like, this is how you don't be a content creator.
Mm-hmm. And you
He's
understand
hit that
it.
mark. Jeez.
Okay, still on this? Come on. Still on
Yeah.
fucking April?
Yeah, in 2021.
I've been accused
Please,
of
she
acting.
ghosted me the day she walked out. Oh,
All right, we lost it. Go back a little bit.
Sure. Okay.
Let's just play from there. Yeah. It was the smartest thing she could have done. I got what I deserved. I got what I deserved.
You wouldn't understand.
God.
I
mean, that's true, though. That's a true statement.
Yeah,
But
he's
still.
honest. Pretty self-deprecating.
Yeah.
A nice little meme here. It's what would happen if you try to open up a console. This is just more whining. I think we've seen enough.
Yeah, I mean,
And
we get the
just
point. It's
speed
what he
run
does.
through this.
Oh,
I no longer want to
God.
live stream, no longer want to entertain, and no longer care.
Remember that one. I remember that one. I really don't like where this is going. If I could say one thing, Spoony, I will keep you my thoughts and always care about you. I'll never forget what you've done for me. I love you.
Dropping that L word.
Oh, nice.
Oof. Ugh. Jeez.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I fucking boring you? Yeah, because he threatened this so many times too. By the way, he threatened this so many times. I'm done Twitter. And he said his fucking Patreon. It's his life is Twitter, man.
Yeah, there's hundreds of these, so I had to cut down a lot. These are just. He seems to miss the cops who are showing up. Aside from a couple of policemen, I have literally not seen or spoken to another human being in at least 5 months. Pretty sure this has made me go more than a little strange. I'm halfway tempted to call the cops back and ask if they want to see a movie or something. Now that I think about it, I have such anxiety about being around people now. It's probably best I remain alone.
That's pretty
Okay,
wild
the
that you
Crow.
consider them a couple of policemen, like you remember. I talked to a couple policemen a few months ago. It's pretty cool. They were cool guys.
They're at my house. Man, do you have their number?
Can we get those guys back, please?
Wobbles back into the room and flops onto his throne of pain. So
what?
The king of suffering has the throne of pain in his throne room of ultimate anguish, I guess.
Cannot be serious, dude.
Tried shaving for the first time since I can't remember. Wraps his head in toilet paper.
Still trying to pump out the jokes, though, making you guys laugh.
Oreo is at the vet. I found some kind of lump. So Oreo's not doing well. Spoony stops tweeting for 2 whole months, breaking his silence with a tragic announcement. In October, 10 years after adopting her, Spoony's dog Oreo dies, sadly.
Yes.
And obviously, you don't want to wish that on anyone.
Yep, definitely.
But I mean, if he thought he was sad before, it could have gotten worse. Here's a nice funny meme. Like, everyone else in that guy with the glasses is struggling to try and get their subscriber count up. Meanwhile, Spoony is sitting at over 100,000 doing virtually nothing.
Yeah.
All these other people putting out videos like once or twice a week. All those struggling peasants.
Yep.
All right. We're in 2022. We're getting there. We're nearly done with this, mercifully. 2021. Make sure I don't miss anything for 2021.
Oh, we got the
his
new dog. Did he get a new dog very soon, or is that just my memory? I thought he got a new
Yes,
dog
he
very
did
quickly.
get a new dog.
Yeah.
And I'll talk about that in a moment.
Okay, cool.
I talked about this earlier, but it's like if Spoony had just given up and said that I don't want to make content anymore, people would have left him alone. But he's for years is sitting here being like, I want to make content, but I can't help.
Yep.
By September 2021, it's been an entire year since his last live stream. Conversations with Curtis, starring the main actor from Phantasmagoria 2, A Puzzle of Flesh, launches in April 2021, starring the main actor. Spoony would eventually be invited on in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Spoony does get another dog named Thaco, which I think is a D&D reference. I can't remember.
I don't know about the name. It's annoying, though. That's all I know is that's an annoying name. I don't know why, but it is.
Yeah, he role plays as a dog in that really cringy, misspelled way that makes you want to crack a bat over his forehead. Like, instead of chicken, it's chimkin. Yeah. Oh man, it's so funny. Instead of turkey, it's hermkey. Oh, holy shit! Oh, my sides.
Okay, the D&D folk have come to hit armor class of 0. That is where Thaco comes from. Ironcast Knight, first one to say it. You're a legend.
Yeah, that's why the O at the end is a 0, and why it's in all caps. THACO. Also, it's a like a Chihuahua hybrid mix
style.
So
Chihuahua style.
It's basically taco as well.
Yes.
It's kind of a reference. By 2022, Spoony's Kiwi Farms thread hosts some of the more in-depth discussions about Final Fantasy VIII than pretty much anywhere. So we've gone full circle at this point.
Nice.
Like, there's so little going on in Spoony's life that the thread is basically arguing the merits of Final Fantasy VIII, and I love it. Spoony finally confirms he's returned to Arizona to live with his brother Miles, and he says he really hates it there.
Like, so he's moving in with his brother, who's helping him out, and he says, "I really hate it here." I mean, really cool
I mean, you
thing to
can't really
do.
knock him too much. If he ended up freezing under a bridge, then I would have been like, well, why don't you move in with your brother? So I can't really knock him for actually doing that.
Yeah.
He's getting the help that he needs, I guess.
While I was in the doctor's appointment, my car got repossessed. So now I have no car.
Aww.
Oof.
And I'm not likely to get it back.
Well, that takes payments. That takes paying for stuff. So
yeah, it's really hard to get a car out of impound. I will most certainly be locking my account very soon, given recent developments. Yeah, sure, whatever, man. How many times?
Yep, here we go again.
Okay.
That's true.
Like, who likes tweets like that? I really hate it here. Who clicks the heart on that? It's like, I like this one.
Well, he has a very unhealthy relationship with Twitter. Like, it's clear, like you said, DSP has the pre-stream and Spoony has Twitter, and that's it. That's fucking it, man. Thoughts come in, thoughts go out, and Spoony's definitely doing it for the reaction he gets, even though he doesn't want people to give him actual advice. He just wants the reaction, like, hey, people still care about me. That's just what I think, but who knows? But I think it's people still out there still care about me. I don't care what they say, but they're saying stuff, and that's the important part.
Yeah, I guess it's that FOMO. Like, you feel anxiety from not being able to entertain your audience, which, I mean, I can kind of get. I felt that for a little while when I was unable to stream.
Yeah.
But I talked to people in my own personal life about it, and they helped me through it. I didn't have to run through the internet and have them console me. And if I was feeling really down, I would make a community post pointing people towards the other DSP restreamers, other people making DSP content, which were many. People like the Tractor Beam, Chill Murray, you know, Meerkat, and in a lot of cases, you all. And that being said, and I mean, I mean it. Like, you guys really helped me be okay with not being able to put out content. And it really reminds me, like when DSP is unable to put out content, his whole stream is just him trying to repair his tarnished reputation. And if he's ever not streaming at any point, there's no one who's going to step up and do that for him.
Yep.
You know, so he's going to be really feeling that fear of missing out very heavily. And I got a little taste of that. It helps me to understand, like, like just how important it is to have an audience like that, and
Yeah.
it's a real learning experience. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So he continues live streaming games with practically no layout, like it's 2015.
Yep.
Spoony is invited on Conversations with Curtis. I think I included a clip here. Yes. Let this play.
So, and then we would be playing on the Apple II computers, Oregon Trail and Monochrome, very silly, the entire class, all day, every day. And so that was really the first multiplayer game I ever really started playing.
I don't know about you. I mean, I know you were actually on the Oregon Trail with Lois and Clark, but
oh, definitely.
You may recall the PC game. Was that a multiplayer game or not?
Not really. No, not really.
No.
Actually,
okay.
no.
Thanks, Spoony. Weird. Look at his hair, by the way. His hair looks like he hasn't showered ever.
Are you right now? You're live streaming quite a bit these days. Is that right?
Yeah.
And how's that going? Are you enjoying that?
It's difficult for me because I don't know. I have too many choices. I have so many games to choose from to live stream, and
That's so bizarre. He bizarrely blames his abundance of game choices as the reason why he hasn't live streamed for years, instead of his unrelenting depression and alleged medical issues.
At this point, was he doing those little sporadic streams at all, or no? Because I know he did some sporadically, didn't he? In my memory, it was, but I can't say I watched it. But
yeah, really short live wires, and once the initial shock value of people super chatting, being like "Spoonie's back," it really quickly dried up.
Yeah, he's very bad at live streaming. Lasagna Cat, you are correct. He's one of the worst live streamers there fucking is. He's like all the comedy doesn't. His kind of comedy is what I guess it takes. Watch it again, think of a joke, and then say the joke, and it's really good. Back in the day, but his live wires are very horrible, very bad.
Doing nothing for his donators, literally just being like, "Thanks, insert name here," and that's it.
That's
no
all
giving
you
back.
Get. He doesn't even react
rewarding.
to the games that much. I was surprised to see that fucking Death Stranding, how much he reacted there, because that's very much out of character for his live streams.
All mentions of his treatment towards his audience are ignored, and Curtis here is none the wiser. So, I mean,
yeah, Curtis was too chill with this. I mean, obviously he's trying to help out Spoony too by having him on the show, helping his show too as well. But it's kind of Curtis here didn't really push anything.
Yeah, basically just exploiting Spoonie's clout for views, which it did get him a lot. I mean, this initial interview I think was sitting at around 22,000 views, and then the second one was like 10,000, and the third one is like 6,000. So obviously you can see like diminishing returns.
Yeah,
whether you're gonna like it,
whether I'm gonna like it, or whether or not it's gonna be good viewing.
Let's see. Discovered Conversations of Curtis with you. Hadn't seen it, but we're all happy that you're back in some capacity. Have you ever thought about reaching out to They Call Me DSP to react to your own Down the Rabbit Hole episode together?
Lord Street Guru, big ups.
I haven't watched it and I don't plan to. I doubt I'll like much of what was said, and DSP himself responds. As you can see, DSP the un-Ragnarokable, so this was around the time of God of War Ragnarok. You really should. Even if there's a lot of misconceptions and misinfo, there was definitely some in mine.
Oh, God.
It will be eye-opening as to why so many people act as they do due to public perception. I felt great relief reacting to my own earlier this year.
I felt great relief reacting to my own. that's such a DSP response, which makes sense.
Yeah, because he was able to correct all the misconceptions, including the idea that him and Panda Lee were together during the hospital video. Little did anyone know they were actually broken up at the time. Why they got it wrong? Because DSP lied to everyone about them still being together.
Yeah. You literally lied about it, and the person put your lie in the video like, well, this is all incorrect, okay? This is all wrong. I don't know what this guy's saying. Okay.
Jeez.
God.
Well, now I'm sad. Make sure not to say why, Spoony, for maximum internet sympathy points. Totally how a 40-year-old man should act.
Great response. You were wrong, okay?
Mars Go finally blocks him. This is funny.
What did I do?
Did Mars Go block me? What did I do? What did I do? And here's Spoony in current day. Armic21.
Yes. Sorry, real quick. About this picture.
Sure.
I saw this picture. and I was part of me was happy. I was like, you know what? He had a funny comment to it. I'm not a number, but a free man. That's a pretty cool little comment. Remember, I want to remind everyone, I didn't know that bullshit about the shit he said to that fucking fan of his. That's very fucked up. So I thought he was just, depressed dude. He's always down. When I saw this, I was like, fuck, man, that's kind of cool. He's coming back, doing shit on his own, getting out of the house at least. And he's not, trying to, be Spoony the video reviewer and get, money. He went to this convention by his own volition. And I thought that was pretty cool. I had a smile to my face when I saw that he was out there doing stuff because I was happy about it. But yeah, continue.
I guess his jawline was the price of admission.
There we go.
But yeah, as you can see, like there's a lot for him to answer for. I think any public appearance he has, someone should bring a list of some of his tweets and just read them off for him and be like, "Do you stand by this? Do you stand by this?"
Yeah,
you can say that for a lot of people, like Movie Bob especially.
Yeah,
but he's got a long road to climb, and I don't think a redemption arc is really in his future. But that's just my opinion. A lot of people can disagree, but a lot of people who disagree also don't know a whole lot about him, which
that's true too.
Is what I wanted to make sure to highlight here.
Yeah.
In 2023, Armic21, one of the people who inspired Spoony's video game reviews, sadly dies.
Yeah.
So there is full circle, and that's it. Spoony continues to live stream sporadically for about 1,000 to 2,000 views, combined with live streams and on-demand views. His PC still sucks. Warthog continues to tag Spoony in at least one tweet a day, while reporting tweets she personally dislikes. The KF thread continues to document the antics of Spoony and Warthog, occasionally reminiscing on when they thought Spoony was good. And that's our ending. Thank you, everybody.
So I guess to sum it up for me, from ALT sum it up. I think with what the future holds, I think for Spoony is, could he come back to his old career? Probably not, no. But I think if he made an honest try at it and said, "Hey, I fucked up. I had some fucked up tweets," just a blanket apology thing, and said, "I had fucked up tweets. I was in the wrong place. I'm trying to make it better myself," and it puts out a video. I think the internet would still be very receptive to that. Would it be? I mean, people would hate on it, of course, but I think he would definitely get some reception for that, and people would be hyped. It wouldn't last forever, but people would be hyped for a Spoony return where he's, honest and I fucked up in the past, but I'm coming on and I want to, and put out a video, and he would enjoy it. People would enjoy it, I think. And I still choose to remember the good days of Spoony. Very fucked up shit he did in his later days, but in the beginning, he was a dude that loved what he was doing. At least on the surface, and you could tell that through his videos, and it was a lot of fun to watch. But what are your final thoughts, Ludwig?
I think if he does do that, he'll pull a DSP and be like, "I was totally different back then. I'm a totally changed person now." And the only way he would even say that is if he's directly confronted about it, which the people who he surrounded himself with don't seem to want to delve into that topic. So I think he would rather just ignore it and just pretend like it never happened.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably that's a more likely of what is going to happen. Is it would be that, yes. And if he even wants to, he might say fuck it at some point. But he still loves talking on Twitter, I guess. But not as much for sure. His Twitter today is very sporadic, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lot more positive. It's not as negative as it used to be, which I guess is kind of a relief.
Yeah. So it's much. He seems to be chilled out just in general. In terms of what he does today, but who knows? He might say, "Fuck it, I don't want to be on the internet anymore," and that's fine too. But I don't know what he's doing to sustain his life or whatever. But he was.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he streams occasionally just to get his brother off his back, to just be like, "Hey, I'm trying." I don't know.
That could be too.
If he ever did get a job at like a fast food place, I might be tempted to go down there and just order a Big Mac. Who knows?
People would do that. That's the problem. So he can't really do that either. But anyways, what a show it's been. Thanks so much, Lou, for putting this together. You're going to put a video on your channel, though, about this too, or what are you going to do with that? Think you might make that?
Yeah, I'm going to edit it up. I don't know. We did pretty good. I don't know what there would be to edit. Maybe just mirror it.
Oh, we did. Yeah, we did cover everything you wanted to cover, and you had a nice fucking lengthy list. So thanks so much for putting that together. Thanks everybody for watching. Everybody's a fucking legend. We might do another one because me and Ludwig have some similarities of people we watched back in the day that don't just end with Spoony. We were all That guy with the glasses watches. There's a few other people in there that'll be funny to watch for sure. But we'll talk about that down the road. You're all legends. Big ups to Doden for the Hogan pull. You're a legend forever. And you'll be timestamped down below after this. Ludwig, final words. Final words, please, from Ludwig. Send us home.
Thank you, chat, for keeping us informed, keeping us sharp, and always feel free to criticize. I would rather be told I'm wrong than keep believing I'm right and not be. And I think that's the mentality that a lot of people on the internet need to adopt a little bit more often. They should understand that that even like the group of people who don't like you, they're still people. They're not.
This bit. It's
Oh shit. They're not. They're not losers. They're not basement dwellers. They're not like virgins who don't know anything. They're just people. They're people who were at one point fans of yours, and learned things about you that they don't like. And the fans, they carry more weight because they know more about you than the people who don't like you. And you should listen to them, and you should follow their advice, and you should try your best to try and be better. And I try, and it helps to see a lot of these failures out here and to learn the opposite of what they're doing and try to do that.
Something
That's all I have to say.
Something we all could take with us. But I will leave us with the saying a famous person I know, Super Scuffer, says, "If you can't be good, then be naughty." We'll see you in the next one, everybody. You're all fucking legends.
Bye.